Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of the WD Black Cup Season 3, brought to you by AMG Gaming and Skyesports, the esports partners. The battle has gone a bit uphill, but still up there. But this is the phase 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Daffy, and alongside I have Lucifer with me on this casting desk. How are you feeling, Lucifer?
I'm feeling super excited, Daffy, here because, as you said, this is the phase two, right? And finally, in this eliminations that we are going to be having a round robin format, a group stage where teams are going to be battling in between themselves to becoming one of the contender finalists, right? Still, even though they top the table in this group stage, it's not confirmed that they're going to be the contenders. Then they have to fight in the
Absolutely.
contender finals and then become one of those finalists to challenge the king. So the journey is going to be very tough. And to start the day itself, to start the group stage itself, we have one hell of a match. That's going to be, yes, we are
Oh.
going to be talking about it later in detail. But for our viewers to know, I'm pretty sure they would have already seen from the title, it's Enigma versus Lethal. And Lethal just won their match yesterday itself to
Mhm.
grab this third seed spot in this group stage.
Yes. Barely making it, if you ask
Hmm.
me, They were down a map and they came back into the seeds, and now they're
Yes.
here in this phase two alongside big names. It's Enigma Gaming today that they will be facing in this round robin format, which is a very interesting format to, give every team a chance and get their game strong when they face the final boss in the King of the Hill battle against Global Esports.
I'll be looking forward to how this is going to be working out. I mean, as you said, the final boss is in every game. There is a
Yeah,
scenario, right? You have to fight the boss, then you get the credits, and sometimes in a couple of games you even get the girl. So I don't know how it's going to be working out here. It's about the prize that we'll be looking forward to, along with the title, and it's not going to be an easy run, right? We were seeing even yesterday when that last third seed, I would say, spot was to be found, both the teams were giving it their all. I mean, Valor were trying to push it
absolutely.
up, but Lethal was just better. I think it's their switch up initially that things worked out in their favor and they kept it going. And also, it was one of the reasons that they got to explore against Revenant when they fought out and lost on Fracture, that they understood what they had to patch up and make those strategies even more secure, and it worked with them on Fracture. But now it's Enigma. Nobody has even the
Oh.
slightest clue here in the WD Black Cup of what Enigma is going to be doing. And they are one of those, I would say, very hungry contenders who are looking forward to the title because they were so close previously, and that's they're one of the second
Yes.
runner-ups in the previous WD Black Cup season 2. So it's not going to be easy for even Lethal right now to push up towards or push against them. But again, there are two things online. One, we did talk about the title, but right now the prize right in front of a screen, a total sum of 10,000 USD.
Oh, still a lot of prize money on the hand, but I would always be in the favor of the title, Lucifer. I
Yes.
always want to play for the title, which is the King of the Hill title. And Global Esports, once again, they are the two consecutive winners for the last two seasons, and here they are
Mm-hmm.
waiting for another contender that can actually take that throne away from them. And well, they'll be desperately waiting for that. Meanwhile, we still have a lot of games that will happen before we get there. So today, Lethal Esports and Enigma Gaming really want to talk about how Enigma Gaming, we haven't seen them play in a while. And Lethal Esports, new roster, new opportunities, new opening for them, and a lot
Yes.
of new things going on for them. And the way they are playing right now is just phenomenal. It's just a new team, and they're
Mm-hmm.
already in a top spot already.
Exactly. We were also talking about in this prizes that all these teams right now have that confirmation that that fifth position prize that is there, 350 USD, is kind of confirmed for them. I mean, it's already just upway
Yes.
right now. So it's just that they are about to climb the steps and reach a little bit better in terms of the positioning to grab 450,000, 2,200, or 4,500, the champions title, as well as the prize itself. So it can pan out any direction, but they have to give it their all. And as you said, there are going to be right now a couple of players that we have seen and perform, but there are today's group stage matches and also the schedule right in front of your screen. Day one, there's going to be two matches, Lethal versus Enigma. The second one is going to be Reckoning versus Revenant, which will be held offline, and the results you will later know. And when we reach out, meet you again on day two, we're going to again let you guys know what happened and give you a brief, I would say, idea about how that match even panned out. And this is one of the reasons all these teams getting three matches to play, and whoever table tops will be then entering the contender finals.
Yes, absolutely. Four good teams, top teams, I would say, and
Yes.
would love to see this format play out. We are probably seeing it for the first time
Mhm.
around this region, and giving chance to every team to face out every top team in the region to actually
Yes.
find their potential as well and what spot they actually deserve. And well, it actually takes you to all the limits, because you have to prepare so much. You have to be prepared for the
Hmm.
team comps on their playstyle, the map pools. There's so much work that needs to be done, and that is why I say the teams need to be prepared to take their potentials, their abilities, their efforts to the limit, so that they can show that and be that top number, so that they can qualify for the next contender where they'll take global esports. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be
Exactly.
quite tough.
It's all about right now entering and reaching out to the grand finals. I don't know how soon it is going to be. I mean, we know the date, but it's not about the date anytime. It's about which team is going to be reaching there. And now with Enigma coming here, and as we already discussed, we don't know what their play style is going to be. We know the players in the team, but what are they going to be bringing in? But talking about Lethal and their play style, I've been seeing Daffy. This is one of those teams which are still packing that double duelist setup and meta and are making it work. And they've already qualified to the group stage. I mean, no team right at this moment is going to be picking up double duelist, right? Because everybody's leaning toward that heavy utility setup. Lethal still making it work.
Well, I would say that since they are a new roster, they're probably trying to find that chemistry within the players, and they are probably free to play whatever they like or are comfortable on. I think they're still on that exploring phase, but if it's working for them, why not stick with it, right? If it's working, why
Hmm.
not stick with the double duelist meta that we used to have before? And there's a lot of teams that have changed that up and have uh, changed it to double initiator, maybe double
Yes.
sentinels, or even double controllers on certain maps. Because they would like to heavily rely on that utility based setups. And well, when you bring two duelists in, you very much have to rely on your duelist to make certain plays. And as a support player, you can only set up for them in some ways,
Hmm.
and not a lot of ways that you would normally see. But there's still a lot of potential in that lineup with double duelists, as long as your duelists are doing their jobs.
Exactly. I mean, it has a lot of potential. And as we were talking about them, the roster is right in front of your screen. Starting off, it's going to be Marzel being the tight shield for the team who is kind of driving the force right now. having that gear stick in his hands and making sure the team has the set strategies to play around with. And Rafa playing alongside him, maybe I would say sentinel, or most of the times the initiator role, depending on when the teams need the opening. When Mazel is playing on the chamber, then we see Lucia playing that controller role, very crucial, right? You need to control,
Hmm.
get down those smokes, and Lucia is also pulling off some insane stunts to get a couple of 3Ks, 2Ks, and sometimes even 4Ks to get the rounds under the bag. And then the double duelist that we were talking about, Sensei and Android. Sensei just completely popped off yesterday, and as we keep talking about it, as you did
Hmm.
mention, you need kind of a backup, right? Certain times it's your entire team, but when it's a duelist that's backing you up and you're creating space, and in case somewhere down the line when you're creating the space you fall down, Android is there immediately to, I would say, counterbalance that and push that aggression ahead and make sure he clears the area completely. So Sensei and Android playing really, really well. Yesterday, when Sensei did not have the early on rounds in his favor, Android was doing the job. And then when Sensei came into form, got a couple of rounds, then they played together and won that fracture map. So this roster right now with the double duelist setup is going to be very crucial. But we were talking about Enigma, and their roster is front of our screens.
Another deadly lineup, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most consistent lineups that has been improving in this quarter of the year. And well, they are a force to be reckoned. Enigma Gaming, led by Antidote, and a wonderful, deadly duelist, Rafael, Rexy, Excali, RVK. Even in this roster, if you see it,
Mm-hmm.
Rafael likes to play that primary duelist role. Normally, when we see him play Jet, on certain maps, we do see him play the other roles sometimes, but we have Excali as well to back him up if required on certain maps where he takes that duelist role as well, maybe on the Rays or maybe in the Neon on Split, especially. And this is a Russia that is so self-composed, such structured in every role. Antidote taking that controller role,
Mm-hmm.
RVK bagging that sentinel role, and then we have Rexy on that initiator role that they fulfill so perfectly well, and they just back up Excali and Rawfield to do their job so properly, and they just do it flawlessly.
I agree with you. I mean, the entire roster from Enigma, I would say, is heavily leaning towards the duelist, right? Even the IGL himself is a ex-jet player, if you want to call it. The potential
Oh
is still
yes,
there. And if you give
yes.
Antidote the operator, still irrespective of the agent he's playing, you cannot deny him with that operator. He's going to
Mhm,
be picking those players off one after another. He's going to be finding the skills. So
mhm.
Antidote making sure he's the driving force for the entire team is looking so brilliant. And as you said, this is a lineup which is delivering constantly in every matchup that we are seeing. But right now, it's their
Absolutely.
day one. They're going to be starting off
Mhm.
with their engines today. So Enigma, it's going to be them fighting against, I would say, a running engine already. So don't know whether their steamroller will be better or it's the opponent. And especially with Lethal having played a couple of matches extra from the other teams who have qualified, that can be one of the aggressions that are packing and looking forward to push that force ahead towards Enigma. But as we said, this is going to be a powerhouse of a match. It's gonna be a brain wreck for us to even comprehend, and I would say let you guys know what's happening, but it's going to be fun to watch, that is for sure.
Absolutely. We have a lot to come in our uh, matchup right now. But what we can talk about is the map veto,
Hmm.
Lucifer. What would you expect to see? Might we see another fracture come into play this
Yeah.
time again? Would love to see it.
I
What
agree
do
with
you
you.
think?
I feel like there should be another fracture coming through because most of the teams are concentrating on those very crucial maps, right? Which are strong for these couple of teams. So when they end up banning that, they kind of let fracture fall through. So let's hope they have not done that today. As we were talking about it, the
Hmm.
map pool and the map veto
Oh,
is
here we
right in
go.
front of our screen. So Enigma is going to be banning both Breeze and Fracture. So they're not even worried about any other maps. Lethal, on the other end, is going to be banning up Haven as well as Bind. These two are strong maps for Enigma. I mean, Lethal are also good on it, but they have certain times had some difficulties here and there, and that's the reason that is one of their bans. But the first spec coming through is going to be from Lethal's end, and that's Split. The only time Lethal lost was yesterday on Split, but nowhere else did Lethal lose. They were so good on, I would say, Split every time. Even when they played on Revenant, Revenant kind of were the ones to first lose it, but then Revenant make a back-to-back comeback and pushed it to the third match and won the map. So this first map of Split, again, we know Enigma is also good here, but Enigma going to Ascent, the kind of map which is so much played in the entire, I would say, Valorant scenario and the map pool, that this feels certain times kind of like we know how it's going to be playing out. But there are players as well as things switching up, because we were seeing KO come in, we did see Sky. We kind of, I think, not in this, but I've seen Neon also a couple of teams trying to pick it and make this change over and maybe make an upset over there. But Icebox, this is one map I want to see how it is going to be working out here, Taffy, because Enigma had one of the strongest maps on Icebox. But as this new patch and the switches has happened on the map and couple of positions, Enigma, I've not seen them completely dominate on it.
I mean, Icebox is a map that Enigma likes to keep it in their map pool, and
Yes.
it's not like it is their primary pick,
Mm-hmm.
but they keep it so that the opponents like just put it in the veto, so that even if it goes to the third map, or even if the opponent takes it as their first pick, they still have that expertise in that field. It's not that they are completely new to the map. We know
Yes.
how deadly raw fuel is on that map with that jet, and even we have seen Excali playing Chamber on this map.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, how strong he is. He's been very sharp with that agent as well. But that is the reason I think that Enigma does not pick it first, so that their opponent picks it, and it still keeps it in the map pool, giving them upper hand on that map veto. You could say you can win your games if you are a proper organized structured team. You could actually predict your own scoreline by knowing the done veto, because there are seven
Exactly.
maps. You can't prepare all for them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can prepare four teams so strongly that if it is in your favor, if it is aligned for you in your map veto, in considering this is a best of three, there might be three maps in your favor. You can pretty much be very confident going into this map, because if a map that you don't like to play is in the veto, you'll be like, oh, we might actually lose this map.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to go all the way through the third map. So, but yeah, what Enigma likes to do is that they have prepared a lot of maps, and we see them banning Breeze, which they normally do
Mm-hmm.
again, once again. So that gives them more breathing space in the map pool. Even if they decide to go all the way three maps, they still have that upper hand, I would say, considering the
Yes.
map picks between these two. Scoreline, if I were to predict, it might be just 2-0.
Mm-hmm. I
What
kind
do
of feel
you
that. I feel the
what
same
do you
thing,
think?
Daffy, because 2-0 is something that is possible, but again, whether it's going to be Lethal or Enigma is a tough question to say, right? Because Lethal have also played well on Ascent. I think they just had one match, if I'm not wrong, or maybe offline is what I had seen the match that worked out on Ascent. But on the
Hmm.
other end, it is also, I would say, that the first map split, how it plays. And this is coming from the standpoint I'm now talking about Lethal, is because when we saw their fracture, when they lost against Revenant, right? This is again when I started off the day, I did mention that they were able to figure out those loopholes which were not working
Hmm.
out in their favor. They immediately corrected them, and then
Hmm.
yesterday's fracture was better for them. So now, yesterday, when they
Absolutely.
lost split, they've understood what are their kind of mistakes over there, what are their, I would say, weak points that the opponent explored and got a chance to win it against them. Now they have a chance to patch it up, and Lethal do it brilliantly. And Mazel playing the troll as a Nigel, he's going to be making a spin-off over there, trying to bring those changes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, absolutely. First map being split. We have seen both the teams play it a lot of times. And well, Enigma Gaming, they like playing that Neon
Yes,
Lucifer.
exactly,
Excali on that
Excali.
Neon. Are they still going to stick with it? Is my
Mm-hmm.
question. Because if you think about it, it did work, but kind of didn't work as well for them. And well, we have seen a lot of teams playing Neon everywhere globally, if you would ask me. On this
Yes.
particular map, I think Enigma Gaming, if they're confident, they might still give Excali that agent, or maybe I think we might see a switch up, and
Mm.
maybe he can go back to that race, which he was very comfortable with and used to play with a lot. And
Yep.
he's very impactful with that as well. And maybe we might see a double duelist from both the sides, if you ask me. What do you think about it? Because we know about Lethal Esports, they'll definitely go with the Jet and Raze,
Mm-hmm.
as we have seen it before. But Enigma, they're going to go with the Jet Neon, or maybe just a Neon, or a Jet Raze. That's the question that's boggling me right now.
I understand. I feel like it's going to be a double duelist setup coming in from Enigma
Mm-hmm.
as well, because as you mentioned, yes, Excali is one of those trump card players for Enigma who can switch up to anything, right? If they want
Mm-hmm.
him on the race, he can come on the race. If you want them on Neon, he can come on that. If they want him on an initiator, he can play that as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about their setup coming through. But as you did ask, I feel like as we have seen him on Neon, to start things off, there might be a switch up, or as we are trying to hide a couple of strategies for a couple of teams, because you understand, right? You cannot give away everything. Global Esports
Absolutely.
are watching all of it. Whoever that contender is going to be, they can be ready for them. So they might hold off that race on Excali till the last I would say grand finals, if they reach it. And there can be some similar strategy coming in from Lethal as well. Whatever they're showing with the double duelist setup with Jet and Raze, they might not switch up
Mm-hmm.
anytime soon, because as you said, right, Neon has been working on it. It's just team needs to find a synergy where they can put that Neon, and what kind of small
Mm-hmm.
changes they need to make so that Neon's adaptation can be better for that particular team. It can be brought
Well,
in from both teams, but Android, yes, as of today, should be relying on that. But Excali, I'm looking forward to what pick he's going to be coming in with that agent. But everybody else, I feel like it can be very close to a mirror lineup coming through here, Daffy.
absolutely. That's what I'm thinking it will, because playing it safe, and but the pressure, is on Lethal Esports. What do you prepare?
Yes.
Because you have left that map, you're not banning it, so
Mm-hmm.
that you should be assuming that this is a possibility. Split is a possibility. A Neon might be coming. Maybe it might not even come in. Maybe it's just going to be a raise. Maybe
Yes.
Rafael might just play the Sage. Actually, you never know. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe a KO might come. So that is why I say Lethal Esports, they have massive pressure because they do not know what they're walking into
Yeah.
right now.
Enigma have never shown themselves, right? I mean, it's
Mhm.
because they did play so good. In season two, they get a chance to directly enter into the group stages. So it is going to be tough to play against such an opponent who is already kind of hiding things and also has not played a single match. But once that matchup starts, right, I think a couple of rounds might go towards Enigma, because they're already starting on defense. They have the defensive advantage, at
Mhm.
least on split. So if it was not for that, I think we could have seen Lethal only packing a couple of rounds. But if the pistol round goes, I think Lethal will slowly start sinking into it and make their attacking half also work here, Daffy.
Well, definitely. That's the thing. Lethal Esports, they need to be sharp on whatever strategies they have on their side so
Mm-hmm.
that they can get maximum rounds. If you start, that's the problem. When you don't know what you're walking into, you don't have anything to prepare on your
Yep.
opponent, what you can do is just strengthen your own things.
Yes.
So, whatever they're doing, the mistakes that they have done, you need to work on it. You have to
Mm-hmm.
address them, talk it out with your teammates so that you don't. Do silly mistakes, small mistakes, fundamental mistakes that might have caught you the round in your previous matchups. That way, Lethal Esports, if they are sharp about it, if they do not repeat that, or maybe just, decreases for a while, we might actually see a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I
Yep.
think it might be a 2-0 in the favor of Enigma Gaming, I think the score lines might be much closer than we think it might be.
I agree with you. I mean, yesterday Lethal lost to a double Sentinel setup, the Sage as well as the
Mm-hmm.
Cypher coming through. So
Mm-hmm.
it feels like that can still come here. I mean, Antidote can play in as that Sage, or somebody else can play in that Sage. RVK can come in as the Cypher, and previously I did see a match where they brought in this Cypher, because yes, Cypher is
Mm-hmm.
kind of very I would say predominant on split, just because of his setups, because you have to first destroy the
Mm-hmm.
setups. You kind of commit a couple of utilities to destroy the setups, and then you kind of try to execute. And when you're trying to execute, the opponent has a counter stat over there, maybe a smoke, maybe a paranoia, whatever they have. Maybe when if they don't bring in the Cypher, they bring in a Killjoy, they can put down the Nanostorm and try and delay that, I would say, entry. Or even, as we said, Sage will be there, they can put down a slow up after destroying
Mm.
Cypher's trapfire. So that's something to watch out on, what is going to be coming through. We were talking about the double duelist. Maybe they just switch it up to a single duelist and a double sentinel setup, which yesterday Lethal were not ready for. So Lethal have to, as you said, have to be ready for the surprise of either a double duelist setup, or either a double sentinel setup, or maybe a double initiator setup, because I don't think double controller should be coming through here on split, because as we talked about it, right, it's a small map. There are a lot
Mm-hmm.
of corners, so I don't feel like it should be there. But what are your thoughts on a double controller setup if it ever comes through?
I mean, we have seen a lot of teams play double controllers on this map because it gives you more control, map control, if you
Mm-hmm.
say. It's double control, not just like Brimstone or Astra, but Viper lined up with maybe an Omen or an Astra.
Hmm.
I think the strongest double controller setups that I've seen are probably Viper and Astra, and we have seen a lot of teams do it even in the past when they try to run certain set pieces on the attacking side. They just let Viper play around on certain maps, keep their opponents guessing. The walls up, you don't know where they're coming,
Hmm.
so that is a possibility. However, I have been denied of that double controller possibility right away. And well. Identical lineup? Not exactly,
Yeah.
but we do see the double duelists on both the sides, as we expected.
Exactly, the double duelist setup coming through, but also a double sentinel setup. Enigma have let gone of an initiator. They said that our duelists are enough to just run into, and antidotes. I think paranoia is what they'll be relying on in terms of the flash that they want to kind of deny the vision. So it's going to be very crucial. Just one paranoia to play with, and they have a double sentinel lineup coming through. So this is going to be very crucial and also kind of very difficult to defend, and I'm sorry, attack for lethal right as of now, because their lineup there's no change. This has been seen from day one whenever they've played split here on WD Black Cup Season 3. So I don't think now it can be that easy for lethal because their executions are seen. We have seen them completely pushing up at mid. So let's over without any delay start over with the first map between Enigma as well as lethal to see what's going to be working out here. Daffy, just 14 seconds on the clock, but looking at this first buy, what do you think? Because it looks like buying up from lethal is what is looking, I would say, is seeming to be possible. On the other end, it looks to be a little bit heavy utility favored coming in from Enigma.
Well, definitely. There's not a lot of utilities that you can work on from the lethal esports side, except Rage's grenade, and we have Sky's utilities on that attacking side. But we do see the map has started towards the middle position first, and Sensei, along with that glitch pop frenzy, that gives you some aim hacks for sure. But a little reset coming from Lethal Esports since they have that double man advantage. The smart
Yes.
ball probably coming in from Marzil or Rafa. Now they're going to be making their way towards this B side where the execute is going to come in.
This is going to be interesting on how it's going to be working out. They have the advantage. Can they find something? No. Android denies one. Right now, everybody from Lethal have found one each in terms of the skills. Raw Fuel as well as Antidote, the last two surviving players, clearing everything before they actually try and fight off its side. It's not going to be that easy here, Daffy, because they're holding every nook and corner. And now with the flash, Antidote's position is seen. And I think Antidote is not going to be winning this duel out. The Panada has come through, but still no capitalization on that. And Rafa and Android will be picking up each. And then it is going to be the first round in the favor of Lethal. So start things off, as I said, the pistol round is going to be very crucial for Lethal to deny as many rounds as possible for Enigma because they have the double sentinel setup.
Well, a flawless round, if you notice. That was a flawless pistol round coming from Lethal Esports, taking that middle position in the beginning, giving some presence, and they were successful to get 2 kills out there as well. And that reset that came in after, that just keeps you guessing if you're Enigma gaming, because you do not know. You have lost mid. Where do you go next? And catching them off all guard, they get a flawless round. And Lethal Esports, they're looking really prepared now as they make themselves towards middle position once again. As the Antidote has found Marshall towards his A side with that Sheriff. Sensei, very careful, needs to be more careful as the crossfire setup is there. Raw Fuel missing some shots with that
Yeah.
Sheriff, very unlikely of him, but
Okay.
did he spot Android?
I mean, he's kind of reading it, but look at the number of players that have fallen down from Lethal. And finally, Rafa finding it, trying to bring it closer, and they have to play together. Wait, what? Rafuel? I think he lost. He did not have the bullets in his magazine because after the flash, Rafuel had no vision, and Rafa spotted him. And Rafa did not take the shot.
Oh, goodness.
I want to see that again. I need the replay. What happened over there?
It looked like they had it under control even when Marzel went down early in the round, but they got that spike down. But somehow they just lost it to that sheriffs. Could not win the battle, I guess. But yeah, Enigma Gaming back on board already, and this game already looks like it's going to be w- full of surprises.
Yep. Immediately, like the anti-eco where they had the specters, that worked out in the favor of Enigma. I mean, better weaponry does not matter. They made it work with just pistols and the sheriffs coming through now. Right now, I think they will be having those specters as a couple of bonuses here, and a couple of them will be looking forward to going in for the buys. Rexy ready with his wall. As soon as they try to push up, I think the boom bot and then the wall to close it up is the option that they're looking at. Rocky looking forward to spotting a couple of players. I'm pretty sure he has spotted the crossover and is given the call here. And look at that. Antidote right now trying to climb up ropes. In the meantime, Mazel trying to sneak his way in. But since he should have crossed a little bit before, now the smoke is going to be denying him the vision. Antidote, he's repositioned along with him. It's going to be Excali to attack things up. And look at that. The paranoia. It hits on the other side of the wall. And Sensei with a
Oh,
single spray finds two.
that was done perfectly. And Lucia and Marzel, they have found one each for themselves as well. And now it's just down to RVK. He does not have a weaponry as well, just the sheriff, and he's gonna go down as well to Android as Lethal Esports bring it back. They forced that round once again. I think they did not have a proper buy when they won the pistol, which is why I think they had abilities. They had a good weapon as well, and now they just bring it back. Now Enigma Gaming in a very awkward phase as their credit situation looks very shaky.
Let's see what is going to be happening. I mean, the start of the match is kind of back and forth. That's okay. It's still the start. Both of them are trying to read each other, and that's a very early AMD tactical pause coming through. I mean, that was not thought of, right, Daffy? We have seen a couple of matches where they never took the tactical pause up, and they kind of ended up maybe even losing or winning the match, or maybe even making the comebacks. But here, very early on, an AMD tactical pause coming through. I think it would be a call from Enigma, because they should have won that round, because they were able to counter the anti-eco immediately. So they had a little bit of better weapons, but there was a force also from Lethal. So I think that letting go off is something that they were worried about. But okay, this is not Enigma tactical pause. It is going to be Lethal's AMD tactical pause. You can see the red bar. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to be working out here, Daffy.
Oh, I think it is Enigma's. The bar is red for every team, but I think this is definitely an Enigma tactical pause because it looks like it was a miscommunication. It was a flawless round. They had just won a round. They had good weaponries, but they lost.
Yeah.
They just lost the battles because it was not even a close one, as it was a flawless round for Lethal Esports. So they're probably looking to. What? As soon as he started to shoot that, I was in loss of words and like, are you sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, that kill did come in. That was something. But yeah,
Okay.
Lethal Esports already once again getting that man advantage early in the round, giving them so much space and information. But they are going to be walking to Rawfield's operator, who is gonna miss it out this time around. But Lethal Esports, they do not care. They are going to be charging towards the B side. They find Rexy. Antidote is there as well as he gets two.
That was two huge kills. That was much needed, because things were kind of going away from their hands. But look at this. Mazel and it's going to be Lucia, the last two surviving players, but they don't have the spike. But Rockfuel read it right, and Mazel pushes, gets punished for it. Now it's all up to Lucia to try and make something work. A 3v1 situation. The duel that he can win is going to be with Antidote. But look at Antidote's position. He's already pushed up to heaven. He's heard the shouted step. He's checking where he pushed up. He's feeling like he's still at rafters. But Lucia, he's made his way. He's picked up the spike. And right now, I think he should be able to plant the spike as well. I think, but he should deploy a cover. Now they're hearing the spike being planted. They're pushing from every direction. Rockfield with his operator has spotted. And as soon as he was trying to back up, that is going to be denied, and that's another round that Enigma are going to be winning. But that first opening, Daffy, as you said, they were kind of predicting Enigma's position and going in for those free fires.
Oh, I think Excali, he must be frustrated because he was just trying to reposition and he got punished immediately. Maybe just 1-2 trapped, and he was probably like, I'm gonna survive this. I can cross it. And then the last shot comes in, and there's no way out for him. Kudos to Android. They're getting that kill, but that show, Antidote. he just pulled it back for the team. That double spray down and repositioning smartly towards that heaven position with his teammates so that they do not lose him out, and the man advantage that they have should be narrowed down. That was a smart call from it. And now Enigma Gaming once again back on board. 2-2 back. This is just back and forth right now. So early in the game.
I mean, as I said, right, it's kind of maybe bound to happen, but when Enigma lost the first one, Lethal are now trying to play slow and trying to read what Enigma is trying to do, but Antidote is good for one. He drops that controller, Lucia's out of the game, and that was a very crucial pick because they just have one controller to play with. Sensei now, he has to use his smokes, he had to come at them to just clear out position. Marcel on the other end, he finds an opening at A, and now this should be the entry, but Excali, he's at ever, the fight needs to be won, and Excali is the one who's going to be winning it. He's immediately boom-botting the flash, and the Seekers will send across, and Excali trying to dodge everything will be finally put down. Spike? Oh no, the carrier has been taken down. I mean, it can be recovered, but Antidote, he is so huge on the side, delivers with 2 more, and then falls down. 3k for him, and then Sensei denies him. A 2v1 situation. Rexy is looking for to push up, but Rexy was reading that elbow, and he immediately takes him down.
Well, what a back and forth. That is a round that was very close, Lucifer.
Yes.
Lethal Esports losing out early in the round, and it was Marcel that pulled it back, and the rotation came in really fast. And while Excali was trying to make it out, Antidote came in with his ultimate from the shadows, and he repositioned and gets 3 kills once again. Such impact. Antidote, it looks like this is his game, and it's going to be very hard to take this man down. And he's the controller of the team.
It is right now. It's going to be very difficult for Lethal if they kind of keep losing, but yet they have a couple of rounds, Daffy. So it's just 5 rounds down, and we know there's still 7 more rounds done. 7 more rounds to be played, and they're playing one of it right now. So a couple more rounds in terms of victory should give them the advantage on winning a couple of, I would say, points here. But RBK, he finds an opportunity, but he's only good for 1 as Android trades. But look at this, a weapon being recovered. They should be able to pick it up. But Sensei with his blade, is he going to be good for even 1 is the question, because Rexy is aggressive with his wall.
Well, Rexy in a very smart position, and even if they decide to push this way, the trade does come in. Rexy getting down Sensei, but Android was there to trade him out. But still, a 3v3. Positions unknown from both the sides, but look at Antidote. What an angle. That is quite an angle, because you do not have that heaven position. You have to take the fight towards one side of the entrance. So Antidote, he's deciding to take it towards B main. He's gonna find one. Little does he know there are more people there. He needs to be careful. He gets traded by Lucia. Yeah. Excali. Oh, that kill. That kill was very important. And now Lucia, he's pinched down. There's not much he can do. Not much time left either. Just 15 seconds on the clock.
Grenade! 10 seconds left.
Wait, what? Lucia? I mean, I was worried about Raw Fuel, why he was not switching up, and he was not switching up because of from the shadows that was there. But I mean, going down to a grenade where he could have tried to run away, but again, the previous round we saw, again, it was back and forth. The trade game earlier felt like it could have been better from Lethal, but that Antidote's opening is the reason everything fell apart, and immediately Enigma's trade game was better in that round, and they won another in their bag, and it's going to be a 4-2 scoreline right now. 9 for Antidote. He is top fragging compared to Android from the opponent side, who has 7 kills. So Antidote, even though he's a controller, is playing so, I would say, efficient, as well as completely dominating this control on split and at least the defensive half.
Well, definitely. Even this dark cover towards that middle position, just setting them back. Lethal Esports, they were paranoid about it. That bought a lot of time for them, even though they know that there's no mid control by Enigma gaming towards this mid position. But a smart dark cover, this helps them buy some time and even use some utilities for Lethal Esports. Now they will be looking towards gaining that middle position back. Might suggest it might be a B split coming in from them, considering there are 2 players with his B-man and 1 more player, Rafa, that'll be moving towards that middle position to help out their duelists.
Right now, the dark covers are brilliant, as you said. They're kind of completely denying any kind of, I would say, play that they want to make, but finally seeing the smokes, Rexy is getting the right idea.
Oh, wow.
Excali is playing with him. Look at that showstopper. It was about to find one, but Antidote takes the kill. Excali finding another one as Marzel looked on his, I would say, crosshairs. Who was Antidote? He'll be able to find one. That's it. But Raw Fuel, he's helping out, assisting Excali over here. Rafa looking forward to push to a different direction, but right now his position is known. He's looking forward to push back, but look at the amount of pre-fires coming in at his end. They're just spamming him at this moment, but a shorty right on his face. I thought he would be eating up those bullets, but it's RWK who's going to be putting him down, and that's going to be Lethal losing another round. And Enigma right now finding that control that they wanted very early on itself, and yes, they're winning rounds back to back.
Oh, now they seem to be back in control. Well, in this map split, it is very important to be, dominant on this defensive side. Because when you go on that attack side, we have seen so many comebacks come successfully. So it is very important that you get maximum defensive rounds, because you never know what's going to happen second half. Lethal East was already doing a good job. They have 2 rounds in their hand. This round could have been a bit closer, but the kills from Excali was just too crispy and just the right timing that he had. But now Lethal East was Rafiel with that operator. Lucifer, when he gets that operator, there's no stopping him. He's landing those shots. How do you even shut him down?
So difficult, and even if I would say there is a chance that you find a way to put him down, there's another guy to trade you out. And Marzel, you saw he did kind of, both of them missed their shots, but then Antidote was there. He immediately recovered that and did not even give space for Marzel to be gaining over there. And Lethal again losing another round, but I can see the frustration right now kicking in, because whatever they've been trying to do, nothing has worked out, and them right now taking a tactical pause. Lethal, they need to find their way in. Yes, it is the attacking half which is going to be difficult, but as you said here, Daffy, if defense from Enigma is not going to be good, they're going to be having a tough time on attack, because they don't have an initiator at all. They just have to rely on one utility, that's going to be the paranoia, and along with the smokes to just block vision. There's no other initiator plays that they can make with the flashes or information seeking abilities that they are looking forward to. It is just their duelists that need to just push up. So they know what they're playing with, and that's the reason they're taking these defensive rounds.
Well, definitely. The utilities, like we mentioned, it's just not enough, to set you up to take some control. But yeah, this is heavily defensive map. And if you're going against a structured team that has played for so long and has been doing so well, it is always going to be difficult, no matter what your lineup is and how utility-based agents you have on your side as well. But going against Enigma Gaming, now that Rafael has that operator as well, it keeps you so paranoid, Where is he going to peek? Where is he holding an angle? Is he going to be aggressive? It just keeps you guessing, and there's not much you can do except get that early information, maybe even win those early duels. And Lethal Esports, they are just failing to do that now. In the beginning they were, but now it just seems to be falling apart for them. Just like that, once again, 2 men down already.
I mean, I don't know. Previously, they were reading the positions right, and they were going in for the pre-fires. This time, they're reading it right, but they're unable to win any of it. Rockfield good for a 3k, but Lucia good for 2. RWK messing up his shots and gives an opening, but Lucia is the only player. The spike is not in his hands. But again, because the players are kind of far away, I think they don't have the idea that the spike is not with Lucia, but still they are surrounding him. And Antidote takes him down, and the operator will be easily recovered. Look at Excali immediately rushing and gushing towards B main, towards mid, and they just wanted to kind of corner him, not even give him a chance of kind of pulling something brilliant, right? Because we know big brain Omen players, they can do the, I would say, undoable. They can make it happen.
Definitely, that's the thing. Lethal East was once again that tactical pause not coming into clutch. Lucifer, it just didn't work out. They're constantly trying to take that middle position, trying to do that default approach, but somehow it's just not working for them, because there's not much you can do in that middle position if you're not winning those early fights. And Enigma Gaming, they're very aggressive. That's what I was going to say. They are very aggressive. They don't give you that space. And once again, towards this B heaven, they have that control. But where do you go now? There are 4 players pinching them.
But Bucky had to connect, but look at Excali raining bullets on him, and Rexy good
Oh,
for the
wow.
spike carrier. The spike
Down
is not
mid.
it, will be recovered, but look at the positioning from Excali. He should be good, but he messes because of the flash, but he's still surviving.
Oh, what is
Oh,
happening?
finally Sensei puts him down. What is this round? All of a sudden, it felt like we are going to be missing the opportunity. But now it all comes back together. RVK trying to push up. I mean, the information will easily be gained because of his neural theft. The Bladestorm is there. Rafael can activate it at any moment that he wants, but his operator is enough to take the players down, and he has found one. But he did not see that Rafa will be playing together with him. But the paranoia, the timing was just brilliant. But Rafa is still finding through it. It's a 1v1 situation, and we have talked about it. Rafa loves the 1v1 duel. The position is right now gained. RVK, he needs to find something brilliant, but the timing right now, the clock is ticking for the spike.
Oh no!
Rafa was not looking in that direction.
I thought RVK just had the greater timing, but Rafa, his clutch gene, comes into clutch once again. I have seen this man make so many clutch come to play, and this was another one, and he did it perfectly. 4 kills, Lucifer, and that was so important. It looked like they could have gone down towards that A heaven position, but that flash, that guiding light did the job, and now that has gifted them another round. 7-3, still trailing by 4 rounds, but that is still something. Finally getting back on board.
Let's see how they'll be able to get back right now. It's not going to be that easy. RVK again going aggressive, gets punished.
Oh,
This
no.
time he becomes the first player to fall down, because of which Ace completely opens up, but Antidote is still good for 1. He finds that B main. Now the operator is looking to doing the damage. It does. Rob, you look at him, not backing off. He's again repositioning himself, checking
Wow.
screens, making sure nobody pushes up because of that operator. They don't think about pushing up, but look at this. The shorty denies the Trailblazer. He just had 1 bullet, does the damage in Sensei, but it was not enough to take him down. The Paranoia right now hitting players and looking for to push up. They're reading Antidote's position, but the operator comes better for Sensei. Yes, it's back to a 3v3 because of the resurrection, but they need to kind of get the sides under control. Excali finds one, but in the meantime, 3k for Sensei. 2v2 situation. Sensei is not that great, and now he's all left alone with just minute health. That's going to be 10 HP for him to find a clutch.
Not much he can do, and yes, he does go down. RVK, being the first man down, he gets the final kill. Well, Enigma Gaming. Oh, it did look shaky. It was, RVK going for information, but there was no one to back him up. And that was a very risky move. But the resurrection just comes in. And well, Rafael, oh goodness, this guy, he just does not want to stop when he's landing those shots.
As you said, he
what?
does not want to stop. There's nothing that you can write for him, or even a sign that can even stop him, right?
Yes. When you're playing that duelist role, you need that freedom. And Enigma Gaming, they just let him be himself. Just free around, just go around the corner, swing wherever you like, play as you would like, and he just does the job. Once you're given that freedom, you just be yourself. And Rafael, he knows what he is, and he plays like a beast.
Exactly. I mean, the best part about Enigma is they let their players do the job that they want. I mean, there are going to be set strategies coming through, but they let them
There you go.
play in positions that they like. And as you said, Rafael, there he goes. He finds one, and all of a sudden things have kind of switched up. They kind of drag their attention back to B. Rexy is reading this right. They have had a chance to cross over, but in the position that Antidote is, it can be a little bit risky if he gets spotted. The smoke, he's looking forward to deploy. I think it's going to be an heaven smoke, or maybe the mailroom smoke coming through. Ooh, he puts up a smoke towards A main. That was his thought. But right now they're still looking forward to push up. Mazel is here. He has his tour de force. He's checking each and every nook and corner. Antidote, he needs to find this first drive or run away from it. He does not do both. He misses, and right now that's an opening to bring it back to a 4v4. Rockwell's operator still works, and he has his Bladestorm. Finds the third for him, and he is not looking forward to stop. The game immediately slows down. The spike is there to be planted, but all of a sudden the 4v4 situation turned to a 4v2. But right now, tour de force coming into play. Rafa does the damage on Rexy, and finally he's going to be able to plant.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
The timing, he gets an ace to close it. Rafael, he is a beast right now. And there's nothing. The timing that he managed to push up Daffy was just crazy. The attention was dragged towards defender spawn and he pushes up Garage. It felt like Rafa as well as Mazel, they kind of disregarded Rafael. They thought that maybe he might have rotated to Heaven, but he did not give up Garage. He pushed up.
Man, Lucifer, we were just talking about how beast Rafuel is last round. And now he shows up an ace? Is that a caster buff? Is that a caster buff?
I mean,
People
if
talk about
that
the
is-
caster jinx.
Exactly.
That's a buff.
I'm loving it.
That's
I mean, if
16
that happens-
kills. 16 kills, but you know what? 9-3. Split. We've seen a lot of change of plots. And this might be just another one where Lethal Esports, now on that defensive side, can actually play out their game and hold it out and maybe get that comeback come into play.
They don't have any initiators and that should be their advantage, but they're going in for a peak. Android is good for one. They are ready to back him up, but Rafuel long where Excali finds, but the paint shell, it's not going to be enough to stop Rafuel. His positioning was so good. He finds the second and make it a 4v3. Rafuel, he just got an ace. You are not going to be able to stop him. Rafa, he does not see Excali's jump, and right now Rafa, he has to back off. Not only that he has a disadvantage, but also better utilities in Sensei. He's bringing it back. That was a
down
brilliant
mid.
wall back to connect with Rexy, and the spike has been dropped. All of a sudden, a 3v2 situation. Excali not good in terms of his health. The spike being recovered, antidote. He needs to find the opening, but there is Mazel and Excali. Both of them work together. Got into a 2v1 situation. What's happening in this game? This is just a pistol round, and how close it is going.
Well, back and forth once again in this round. Sensei bringing it back for the team, but the quick trades from Excali and Antidote coming in. Now that they have that man advantage, they do not have the information. Did Rafa give enough
30
sound
seconds
cue?
left. Spike planted.
Yes, I think they're ready for it. Antidote, surely he heard this. And now Rafa is going to be walking into his crosshair. He misses it out. And Rafa, oh no, he had a guiding light in his hand. And he has been punished for that. And Antidote, alongside Excali, will be closing out that second pistol round. And take that scoreline towards 10. Double digits.
Double digits already online. They're looking forward to closing this early. Lethal, they're unable to hold their map down. I mean, we won that, right? If it's your map, you need to be the ones closing it up. But it looks like, as we said, Enigma are also good on this map. And for the fact that you never saw them, you're in for a surprise. And I think that surprise is what Lethal were not ready for. 10-3 of a scoreline is what we have never seen from Lethal. Even though when they're in attack or even defense, per se, they've never been in this scoreline and having a huge upset. There are other maps where they've had upsets and had big differences in the scoreline, but right now it's not something that we want to see. Oh, Excali was taking a different fight, but does not matter. RBK was there to assist, takes 2 players down. Android and Lucia are out. There's going to be a flash in the hands. The flash is good. It should be finding a player, but there are other players to cover him up. The trade game is better, and they are going to be getting the spike down. It's walled up towards defender spawn, and Mazel, he has no chance
Spike
to help out
planted.
Sensei. He either needs to push back to, I would say, Heaven, or he needs to find a way to break that wall and waste time.
Well, even if they manage to get 1 or 2 kills, Lethal Esports, they still have a breathing space because they will put down the economy on the side of Enigma Gaming. But Enigma Gaming, they are not ready to drop his weapons just yet. But Sensei is gonna deny that Rexy. He's gonna go down. Sensei, however, on that 12 HP, only with a Marshall is aware. There's one player on the corner, but Rafuel and Antidote have a brilliant crossfire set up for themselves. And they're gonna take it away from there. Now, pressure's on Lethal Esports. What do we do now? We've already lost 2 rounds, and you just have 2 rounds to spare.
They barely try to cling on here, Lethal. They find a way to bring things back, but still, Enigma are better in closing the rounds, right? 2v2 situation, that crossfire breaks everything. I mean, we kind of thought it could have brought back, but as you said, I think it's going to be very difficult for Lethal. There can be a little bit of hopes risen up just because of this full buy coming in their favor, but they need to make sure this full buy works, or it's going to be an advantage. It's going to be a bonus round coming through. Look at those cages, it lets them push up, and the brilliant way to enter here for Raw Fuel. But can they find one? It's just going to be a trade. So still, I would say that the weapon advantage should work, and Xkali, he's repositioned himself at rope. I think the sound is heard spray through the smokes, but still, they're looking forward to slowly making their way into side, getting the wall down, and then looking forward to plant. The wall does come down, but the plant is still not stuck because they understand it's going to be a risky plant if they take it. The better weaponries can be a little bit better. But Xkali's position, Sensei goes in for a check, but he was so close to the ropes that nobody saw him. Lucia will be good for on Rexy, but that's not going to be enough. Again, a crossfire being held, but a 3k coming in for Lucia. Antidote, the last surviving player, and a 4k for Lucia to get this round. And this is what I said, Lucia is one of those controllers. If he gets a chance to pop off, he is going to be getting those 2Ks, 3Ks and 4Ks, and finally he gets a chance to pop off and get the round for his team.
A brilliant round coming from Lethal Esports, keeping their hopes alive just for now. That was a gun round for them. However, Enigma Gaming, they should be still able to purchase into this coming round, hopefully.
One enemy remaining.
But Taffy, here's what I kind of feel is going to be even more difficult. Look at this. Raw Fuel has 20 kills and Antidote has 17. And even the third player over there had 14 kills. That was, I think, Xkali. On the other hand, the top fragger here for Lethal had 13 kills.
Well, that just shows that they are not able to win those duels whenever they are getting the chance. It's not just that the tactical approach is lacking, but it's just the duels that they're losing. We saw it in the beginning of the first half, where they were winning it, but later on, they just slacked off. Yeah, if they can find that momentum back, find that grip back, they are definitely lethal. As we see Marcel getting the first kill, RVK that likes to lurk. That combo is pretty good, and Android, he gets baited out of in from that position, and that was brilliant. Now, back to a 4v4, the rotation. Look at Marcel.
He's running.
Oh goodness, I think
It's hurt.
Xkali, he's expecting it.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not looking in the right direction. Mazel can have a chance to take him out, and the push is there from Rafa as well.
Oh goodness.
He slowed on when it counted, when he had to kind of not give the cue away.
30
Lucy has given
seconds
the
left.
call, but look at the position that Rexy is looking from the
One
push.
enemy
The
remaining.
aim duels that we were just talking about,
Yeah,
this
there we
time,
go.
Lethal start winning it. I think it's just one round that they wanted, and especially Lucia able to pick up that 4K, that just built the confidence.
Well, as we mentioned, caster buff into clutch once
Yeah.
again. Lethal. They are definitely lethal with their aim once they find that grip, and looks like they are finally on board. And look at this Marzil. I'm pretty sure Xkali doesn't even know that he lurked all the way from A, because he did not have that beam in control. He probably assumed that they pushed beam in and had that complete control, and he was punished for that. And now the pressure is building on Enigma Gaming as they are down to an eco. Not much to work with, and Sensei on that operator towards this A-Ram's position.
Let's just wait and watch what is going to be working out. Can this operator find anything? The players, yes, they're stacked up. They're looking forward to winning it. But Sensei, he does find one with a shotty. He's looking forward to finding another one. But Rockfuel's blade, it connects and it deals the damage which it had to do. And now we are seeing that this kind of I would say weak buy is still working because Rockfuel still has his blades. He's already patched up. It's a 4v4 situation. And look at RVK's position. We know he's a one-tap god over here. If he finds heads, he's going to be popping them. And Raw Fuel, it's not him at this time. It's RVK. He gets the second on board. And this is why I love RVK. With that Sheriff, there's nobody who can deny them. But Mars's positioning was so great that he's going to be finding Raw Fuel and then to counter Rexy as well. But RVK, can he find another head? Yes, he does. He pops to make it the third. But Lucia coming in clutch with his ultimate. He took from the shadows and headed over to that A position. It was a little bit late where Marzel was already there, but it still worked because Marzel bought him time to, I would say, get deployed, get his TP there, and then, I would say, be available for the battle.
Oh, goodness Lord. Marzil, I think he got scared for a second who TP'd right in his face, you know? But it was his teammate. And when he went down, Lucia just coming back into clutch. He's making those clutch plays for the team.
Yes.
Lethal Esports keeping their dream alive. every player, they're just stepping up right now, Lucifer. They are just doing it. And look at this, the confidence that has built up towards the player. Sensei, so aggressive towards his middle position. Even Enigma Gaming, now they're playing it passive because they are losing that grip. And now that they don't
Exactly.
have that upper hand, even though they have that scoreline up, but still, look at this. So passive, but still getting down, both of them. Enigma Gaming. Oh no, it's falling apart for them.
Exactly. But they've somehow finding
They
their
found my
way
trap.
into A ramps, and now they're at A heaven. They're looking forward to push up at Mazel with his 2 defaults. He's taken a TP. He's looking forward to another one. Rexy gets that. If Rexy gets another frag, he has the resurrection. He can bring things back. But they're also pushing up from Vents. There's a spam coming in from RVK to cover things up. Sensei gets RVK off the board. Rexy right now has the resurrection. He can pop that off. And the wall, it has kind of blocked. But look at this. The push comes in. Rexy needs to cover up. But Rexy fails to get that. And he's immediately running up. And I think they're reading this. They're hearing this. The Trailblazer, I'm sorry, the Seeker is giving the idea
30
that he's
seconds
pushing
left.
to B, but they're still not letting go of A. They're thinking that it can be a fake, and he's immediately committing that plan. And finally, them entering towards Vent and trying to get entry towards B. 1v2.
This is going to be tough for Rexy. He's
Yeah.
playing this off angle with the guiding light. Oh, is it in his favor, Rexy? He has the numbers advantage, but Sensei! Oh, goodness, Sensei. He's been so crispy in this round, especially. Getting those early picks, that resurrection kill, and even this one, he did not have that greater HP either. And he just clutches it out for the team. Look at this, Lucifer. Everyone is stepping up on Lethal Esports.
Yes.
The split defensive side is coming into play for them, and the scoreline is getting closer and closer.
Right now,
Oh, this rendezvous.
yeah, that rendezvous was just, at least it was time buying for them. That's okay. Because there
Yes,
were the
that's
other
good.
players who were able to make their way, and all of a sudden we were talking about the advantage and the higher number of kills that Rafiul had. Sensei is reaching there. He's just right now 2 kills away. The operator is working for him, and also the quick decision of changing the weapon is working. But Rafiul, the Guardian comes into play and immediately destroys that operator and sends Sensei packing home for another round. But Mazel is looking from the car up over there. And the neural tap gives away the position. Excali should have looked for spamming it, but the boombot, it kind of does a little bit in terms of damage. Excali should not back off. But Antidote, he's found his entry. Can Antidote find one? Yes, he does. He's good for one with the Sheriff. But Lucia with the trade. Oh no! Operator shot being missed from Excali. Gets punished. There was no cover up over there. That was the chance. That was the opening, Daffy.
Oh, Marshall, he should have been punished there, you know? So aggressive. There was no one to trade him out. That just shows the miscomms that the side of Enigma Gaming have.
remaining.
Arzel just picking him off like it's a
down
death
A.
match right now. And I'm pretty sure he spotted Rexy as well, but Rexy, he has that operator. And I'm sure he heard someone towards the sewers as well.
Yeah.
Android trying to bait it out, but he's gonna hear that mid sound as well. Lucia being very careful because the information that they have is that Rexy has that operator. You don't want to be
30 seconds
walking
left.
into his crosshair while he's peeking certain angles, and Lucia playing it very smart, you know. Playing for the retake scenario, and Rexy is going to be caught off guard by Lucia and shot in the back, and that operator is going to be recovered as well for the Lethal Esports. And now 8-11 still for Lethal Esports, still trading by 3, but they seem much closer than they were.
I mean, Mazel here, he was even reloading out in the open and they were still unable to do anything about it. And finally, he got put down. But a 3k coming in from him was just brilliant. And Lucia, he understood that kind of going in for a raw aim battle, anything can happen over there. A 50-50 situation could have been created. But as you said, Lethal finding their way in. But here is the fault. It's all the initiator. Not having the initiator is one of the reasons that they're unable to push up. But look at this. Mazel, is he going to be good for another one? Yes, he's winning those duels. He finds one on Rafiul. That's 2 huge kills. RVK finally puts him down. Punishes for what all he's done. But look at this positioning from Antidote. But Android still finds one on Rexy. How did that happen? The spike gets dropped. The wall which was there, it's kind of good for one. But Antidote, can he find another one? The Paranoia is there. He's going to be hitting it. RVK, he needs to find it. Yes, he does. He brings it to a 2v1 situation. The crossover is still not done. RVK is super low to get back to the side. But Rafa, he wants to clear heaven first because that's where Antidote took a pick on Lucia.
Well, Rafa is the man that can clutch it for Lethal Esports. as well. And the spike being put down. He's gonna assume that both players are
Spike
probably playing
planted.
towards it. And he's gonna spot Antidote. But he's assuming that there's someone elbow, but RBK is just gonna swing on to Rafa and deny that clutch for him as he gets 3 on board for himself in this round. And now Enigma Gaming finally or barely getting that round. And now it's match point for them.
I mean, it took so much time, right? From 10-3, now you see the scoreline at 12-8. So they did try to bring it back with 5 rounds lethal, but now with match point, it's going to be very difficult for them because this is the only round that they have to be relied on to make it work. Marzel, right, is now again looking forward to just playing with his operator. He's not looking up to go for a buy. He's just looking forward to committing with that ultimate. I mean, we know how, I would say, capitalizing that ultimate is, but let's see how long it's going to be working out. On the other end, it's going to be a full buy up, and Xkali start things off. Sensei still has his operator, looking for to find something with the pain chills. It does the damage. The slow up comes through, now denying him any kind of proper movement, even him trying to run away. He's look at this confidence with the boom bot. Sensei is good for one and finally dodges back, but they have a Sky. So Sensei, he can be brought back to 100, but he has to head all the way over to B to just receive that healing. And this is the opening that they create. They find that instance where he was backing off, and right now Tokyo has entered.
Players coming towards this B side where Xcali and Rockfield, they have found one each for themselves, and Lethal Esports now in not a very good scenario. It looks like it's going to be game over as RBK is gonna find both of them and end it. And Enigma Gaming's Lucifer, they are going to be the winners of their map pick and the first map in this second phase of King of the Hill.
Enigma show and start off strong on their first match here in the WD Black Cup Season 3 powered by AMD. This was very necessary for Enigma, right? And also, first match.
This is the first match indeed. And well, Enigma Gaming, it did look like they were going to fall apart, you know. For a second, we thought that Lethal Esports, they might just find their momentum back. They were building it. They were definitely building it. But there were certain clutch plays that were coming in on the side of Enigma Gaming that just gave them this map. And well, early on, it did look like it was going to get very close. The scoreline does suggest that, but the first half was very dominating. It was 9-3 from Enigma Gaming.
Yeah. It was just always better trades coming in from Enigma. There was nothing that they could do. There were a couple of heroic rounds that were being pulled, and that's one of the reasons that they had at least 3 rounds in their attacking half, which kind of gave them a chance to come closer to a comeback. But I think if they had an 8-4 split up, it could have been just better. But now on the attacking half, which we'll be going through in the highlights very soon, we'll be seeing that it was so good that it found, as you said, it felt like Lethal were finding their groove. They were making their move in, but Antidote in so many rounds, it was so crucial in winning duels, getting the area under control of that map. He was just brilliant in winning it. And then, you know, right, 2v1 situations is not something that people will lose, and always they kept it going. And look at this, always again, here it felt like the trades were coming in, but the trade was just exceptionally better coming in from the side of team Enigma, and there was nothing that they could deny. Antidote, look at him, he's just running away, puts up a smoke. Maybe he gets taken on, but immediately Xkali is there over there at Haven to immediately trade him off, and that's done. The round goes, and Pain Shell itself is good to take out Lucia. But yes, Lucia did also pull off a hero. He got a 4k for himself, but it was on his defensive half in the 15th round, and that's when we saw the momentum again flying back towards the side of Lethal.
Well, definitely. First, I mean, this map, it's so defensive sided, and if you have that right chemistry with the team, irrespective of your team composition, it's just so hard to clear out all the angles that there are on these certain maps, and that just denies all the entry points for them. Like even in the this replay that we are seeing, how many angles can you clear? And then there's an operator that is being played by a beast, Raw Fuel. It's just too tough. And Lethal Esports, they were just falling apart in that department. And Enigma Gaming, they had that lead, and well, they just went on and on and on until a comeback. It was almost coming back, but it was denied.
Yeah, I mean, there were some insane rounds being played from Enigma where we kind of were just flabbergasted. We were unable to believe it or even understand. And Raw Fuel, he also pulled off an ace. So I don't think somebody getting an ace and then losing the map should be the case, right? But Rafa, this one, instant flick on, look at that. It was RVK who spotted him out. It should have been RVK clear as day to win that battle and get that round back in. But something happened over there. And I think he just wanted to play a sheriff round here, Daffy. And we know how insane
yes.
RVK is. And once he got that sheriff, oh man, it was so menacing that they kind of came close to completely losing that round. RVK just popped heads off like it was nothing. It was just like stones here and there that he was just throwing down to the river. That's how it felt. RVK, damn. He's just amazing on that sheriff. We talk about Rafuel on the operator, then we have to give justice to RVK on that sheriff.
Definitely. RVK, he made certain plays that was just needs that compliments, you know. He was making those plays, he was getting those information like he does on that sentinel role, and this ace from Rafuel, that was just brilliant. And then came the pistol round. This was a nice approach from Lethal Esports, but however they fell apart just after, and Sensei bringing it back for the team and again falling apart, taking those unnecessary picks that just punished them. And Rafa, well, he was caught off guard as well. And Enigma Gaming, they had it, but Lucia, he did some damage, not much, but it was just enough to keep Enigma Gaming in a weird credential position for them. And next round, they just pulled it back, and they just got 5 rounds consecutively. Lethal Esports.
I mean, look at this positioning. It felt like Lethal could have had it, but Enigma were just a wee bit better. Excali going in so close was one of the reasons we felt like, okay, this round is done. But then Lucia comes up huge, pulls up a 4K for his team, and gets and clutches that round, which was just unbelievable. I mean, yes, that is possible, but all of a sudden when Enigma have the momentum to try and break them down one after another, getting a 4K is so difficult. And then this round, when he found the opening, took down RVK, he found that instance where he understood, okay, I can immediately rush up, push from attacker spawn and get over to B, and that's what he did. Still, this opportunity where we thought that Sensei could take things down, but Sensei was ready with his shorty, but afterwards he immediately tried to turn things around with that operator, and this is the round I was talking about. RVK sheriff was just insane. Mazel, yes, this round was, I mean, so close. It looked like RVK could have turned things around. If not for Lucia's ultimate from the shadows, it would have been a round that maybe Enigma could have won. And again, look at the Sensei. I mean, there was a read from both the ends, both the jets, that there would be a push coming through. But it was not this round that Rafuel was able to contest it. It was the next round, or I think the 17th or the 18th round is when we saw that Guardian come into play. Okay, it's the 19th round. Next A execution round is when we are going to be seeing it. But look at it. Most of the times, Enigma was still able to find those aim duel trades, which was working in their favor. Whenever they missed their shot, that's when the opponent completely capitalized. And look at this. Mazel, he got a 3K for himself. The operator got picked from Rexy. But come on, a 1v3 situation brings it to a 1v2. But how far can he pull it off? It's always difficult, right?
It's definitely difficult, and Lethal Esports, they really played it smart actually. They played it really passive. They had no information. They respected that on the Rexy. And but this round, this was the round that could have been very close, but the smart positioning from Antidote, especially catching 2 guys off guard, and RVK just popping off here.
Yeah.
And in the last round, it's the entry kills, man. If you get that first blood, this was quite a risky play from Sensei, but it paid off. But at what cost? All of your HP and not much to do about it, and they just closed it out.
Exactly. I mean, I want to talk about that last specific round, Duffy. You saw, right? Sensei used and ate up so much of those utilities. He ate the paint shell, then the boombot coming his way. He was slowed. He still finds one on Rexy, but then he immediately thought about walking back up towards his teammate, the Sky, getting that, I would say, regrowth from Rafa. But by the time Rafa was trying to rotate, there was an immediate push coming in from Rafuel. So Rafa, he had to recommit to that B side to try and hold off with his teammate, that was Lucia. And just because of that, Sensei could not get that heal. If he would have gotten that heal, things could have changed. If both, as I would say, Rafa as well as Sensei could have actually regrouped and then pushed over to B, things could have changed up. And I think that should have been a scenario where the crew could have thought about a retake rather than looking forward to holding that side strong. And I think that's also one of the reasons that match point round could have played either way, that maybe there could have been a situation where we would have seen a 12-9 or maybe a 12-10 also, that Enigma would have gotten delayed in terms of winning the map. But still, Enigma making this work even in the attacking half without an initiator, they knew how crucial it was, and that's one of the reasons they pulled off so many rounds in the defensive favor itself.
Well, definitely. Well, Lethal Esports, they probably did work on some of their fundamental mistakes that they might have done in the last game, and did so like they were more prepared. But on the attacking side, it was just an Enigma show that just denied so many rounds from them. It looked like in the beginning it might be much closer than we would anticipated, but that was just not the case. And well, Enigma Gaming almost getting a got the comeback there, Lethal Esports, but Enigma Gaming, they closed it out just in time, because closing games out is so difficult that you need that experience, and Enigma Gaming, they have it. Every one of them, every player on that team has that experience, and they will not be looking to choke that out, and they have managed to close it out. It is their map pick, Enigma Gaming split, but however, it's the best of three, Lucifer. There's more maps to come. Ascent will be up next, where Lethal Esports will be starting on the attacking side, if I'm not wrong.
Lethal will be starting on the defense because it's the
Oh,
pick coming in
defense.
from Enigma. That map.
Oh,
Ooh.
so I have it wrong on my paper.
Yeah.
So,
This was the map
well,
choice of Lethal and they lost it here. So it's going to
I
be a
I
tough
mean,
play.
we have a tradition of winning each
Yeah.
other's map.
Yes.
So, well, Lethal Esports still not over for you guys. You still
Mm-hmm.
have Ascent up in their sleeves, and I hope we can see a third map come into play where it's going to be Icebox. But let's talk about
Yes.
the impact that players
Exactly.
on this map did. Rafael, no surprise there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise.
That is a no-brainer over there. Raw Fuel coming in as the MVP was already thought of, but Sensei also played good. We were seeing, right, the Sensei as well as Android, they were nowhere to be seen when we started the match because Raw Fuel, along with his teammates as well as Antidote, was popping off just being the controller. But immediately when things switched up, the attack came into force and Enigma had to play that without an initiator. Lethal found their control on defense, and that's one of the reasons you can see Sensei immediately backing up close to where Rafael is. But you can see ACS is still a little bit closer, but the KD tells you everything. That Rafael, in terms of his defensive half, he did so much, and that operator play coming in from Rafael, irrespective of the position, he was able to win so many duels. I mean, majority of the duels, even if you put up a ratio over here, he will be closer to 95% of the duels that he's won. Only a couple of shots that he's missed here and there, and that's just on your fingertips. And the duels that he has won, you will be not even able to count. That's how many frags he's pulled out for his teammates.
Well, definitely. Well, however, it's Rafael leading the charge. There's everyone that has popped up on the side of Enigma Gaming as well. Or each of the players just doing so well. And even on the lethal side, it was Sensei just pulling it back for the team.
Yeah.
And just, everyone started to pop up. We were seeing clutch plays coming in from each and every member from it. But there was just not too much rounds on their hands that they could, make that comeback possible. But yeah, they can definitely come back in the series where they will be facing Enigma Gaming on Ascent.
This
Now that
is
is a map where it gets trickier. Enigma Gaming, they have so many approaches in this map that once again, Lethal Esports, they will have no idea what they are going to be walking into.
exactly. I mean, it's unfortunate, but when you are such a contender who are already looking forward to the title previous year, this is bound to happen, right? They have to get this kind of an opportunity, and that's why Enigma are capitalizing. That's also one of the reasons that Enigma needs to kind of show up huge today. Even though it's their first match, they cannot be easy here because they have to prove why they were one of those contenders, why they were one of those runner-ups in season 2, and why they're back here looking forward to the title, why they're so hungry. And if this match gives you even the slightest hint that tells you that Enigma can be one of those contenders, that's what they are going to be happy, that they've showcased their true skill and potential and why they deserve the title if they get a chance to it. But right now, as you said, Ascent, it can go, I would say, again in Enigma's favor, already the pick being in their name. But as we have seen, right, the current way how maps pan out, it is always that the opponent wins your map and you win your opponent's map. So I hope Lethal are ready for it.
Well, definitely, we would love to see a third map as well. But yeah, second map. If we talk about Ascent, we have seen Enigma Gaming. They like playing that KO. We see
Mhm.
Excali. He likes picking up that agent, and he has been so good with it, getting that
Yes.
information in, even trying to play it as a duelist. Even
Oh,
though KO
yes.
is technically a initiator, but you have that utilities that you can use to yourself and play it in a way that a duelist will, and KO with those flashes, with those fragments, and get that information as well. You Excali, he just plays it brilliantly.
He plays it brilliantly. I agree with you. And now, I mean, we were seeing a double duelist setup, right? Excali as well as Raw
Hmm.
Fuel. Now we are going to be seeing a deadly duo combo coming through, as you were saying. He will be setting up Raw Fuel for success. And we saw, right, there were
Hmm.
flashes coming here on Ascent, especially from mid. But here is where they're going to be starting an attack. So we might not see those aggressive defensive plays from Enigma very early on, but Enigma will be looking forward to trying those aggressive plays when they switch over in the second half. But Lethal, what will they do? Because their defensive half, they need to capitalize on it, Daffy. They cannot let go of it. Is there going to be a single duelist setup coming through, or is it still a double duelist setup? I feel like here Android can change things up and get back to the chamber, because I think this is where I've seen him on chamber, and every other map he plays the double duelist as a race.
Well, that is going to be quite tricky, and I assume Marshall might be picking up that Sova as well if we do see
Yes.
the chamber being picked by Android. But that's the thing. On Ascent, if you have that chamber as your sentinel, it does not give you those locking down abilities that normally we would see from Cypher and Killjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be tough, and you will have to be relying more on your aim duels. Once again, even in the last map, their lineup, it was so reliant on aim duels. And
Mm-hmm.
even in this map, if they do decide to go with that, they better win those fights early on, because that defensive
Yes.
half is going to be very crucial for them. They don't want to be losing out rounds, and they Enigma Gaming, they like to pressure so much with their attacking side. They will not execute on the side directly. If they do get a chance, they will, but if they are not looking to do it, they will pressure you so much that you lose every ability that you have on your side that might cause disrupt to them. And once they do decide to execute, you will have nothing to counteract it except your aim
Mm-hmm.
duels. So that is going to be very crucial. So Lethal Esports, I'm pretty sure they are prepared for it. So let's see how we see it.
Exactly. Let's take a look in the agent selection itself, where we're kind of getting an understanding of what's going to be happening. And again, they do not let go of the double duelist setup. They're going to be bringing in the same thing, but this time Rafa switches up from the sky and gets to a Sova. On the other end, it's going to be a single duelist, as we did speculate, and Excali on that KO makes that play, and a deadly duo combo coming through from there. And RVK switching up to the Sova, and then Antidote on that Omen already as he was, and Rexy. He was a sentinel, but right now brings in a Killjoy. But this Killjoy, as you were saying here, Daffy, that he is and will have a chance to kind of use those nanoswarms as well as try to put down lockdowns whenever he gets the ultimate to get easy access to side on their attacking half. Even on the defensive ones, they can have a couple of rounds where they can have some easy retakes depending on how they play it. But right now, this aggressive lineup, which gives a lot of information, the double initiator setup is going to be a little bit difficult to contest. One is that they will be gaining information, other is going to be they'll be able to suppress. So let's hope they started from the pistol round, that Lethal get a couple of rounds in their favor, push it till anti-eco and even win that, and try a bonus round itself. But 2 seconds, the barrier is going to be dropping with 3 ghosts. Let's see if they're going to be doing something amazing.
Well, the round is coming into play, and a faster approach from Enigma Gaming. How do we expect that in the pistol round
Oh!
itself? But Marcel is popping
Spike
off
down,
already,
B.
gets 2 with his headhunter. And he's gonna back off immediately. And Antidote trying to trade him out, but
wait,
the
not
crossfire
fused.
is there. Oh!
He messed up.
Last player standing.
RBK pulling it back. What is happening? How is Enigma Gaming on board? And now the pressure towards. Oh,
Oh.
goodness, Rafa. what do? They had that upper hand, but it was just not in their favor.
They did not have RVK. They did not have RVK under control. He was the one on the back lines that did something unthinkable. While we were kind of paying attention to what was happening, what Marcel did, then how would Rafuel kind of find his way into this? It was RVK on the back lines. Look at him. He's popping off. He took down Lucia, then Android, then the last surviving player, which was Rafa himself. I think RVK was the only person who pushed up from market, and the timing was just exceptional. Right now, when anti-Ucoron, they're going in very aggressive. The position is known, again closing down those doors and then pushing up second lane. It's very Rafuel will be getting it. Marcel still finding a shot with his headhunter, but finally getting put down. Not only that, Rafuel pushes up so aggressive, gets to 3 cam. This is the deadly duo combo I was talking about. Xkali never disappoints. He plays with his teammate. And I think he went for a reload, and that's when Android found an opportunity to find one with a shotty, but that's all. A very quick round done in less than, I would say, kind of 30 to 40 seconds. That's how soon that the round got over.
Enigma Gaming, it is so uncommon to see them this fast, And I think that is exactly the reason I would say that the chamber pick, it's only good for one slow, the trademark.
Yeah.
It will just slow you down once, but there's no follow-up utilities as a sentinel. And Enigma Gaming, I think they're exploiting it early in this round. I'll be surprised to see if they do this the whole game. Maybe this is something they're just trying to do it in the early rounds. But look at this, once again, they're charging in. This is a bonus round for them, Lethal Esports. They will have the greater weaponry in this round. But Rafa, does he have the greater timing here? Yes, he does. Marcel is there to help him out as well. But Marcel is rendezvoused out towards that stairs position where there was no backup for him. Skyesports gonna upgrade his weapon.
1v3 situation. He finds one. 1v2. He does not have the spike under control, and that's something that he's worried about. But I'm not too sure if they have to do this spot. Xkali and Sensei also gets the idea about the spike, and they're going to be holding this. Xkali, he has the 0 point, but no flashes. If he had a single flash, he could have done something better. But right now, look at this. Sensei, he's just holding for a, I would say, push from first lane, and he sees that, immediately goes in for a peek and eliminates Xkali. But even round lost, I don't feel like it's kind of them losing the round, because they've done the economy damage towards Lethal.
Well, definitely. The timing here was so good from Rafa. He got 2, Marcel gets 1, but he did not get to the safety.
Yeah,
and here
he's
Sensei,
flashed.
I think he heard the sound cue, and he just swings onto him, taps him out of the server. But yeah, Enigma Gaming, they were trying to take that fast approach, and did not result in the round for them. But they're still gonna be happy because they will have that greater weaponry going into this round.
Oh man.
Marcel, he has the 30 force already online for him. And Rafael, he's found one. How is Sensei there so freely?
I mean, look at this, even again. I mean, after finding one again, things goes by. The time that smoke kind of disappeared and reappeared, Xkali finds one, Antidote finds one. I think it's because of the 0 point or something that they kind of got an idea, or just immediate clearing the positions out. But look at that, Xkali's position. He closed the door and then immediately pushed up, but Rafa was
One
ready.
enemy
And
remaining.
that ultimate, as soon as it went out, that's when the frag was found. But RVK immediately trades things out. Now Marcel is reading this right as the smoke gets deployed, but Marcel, he's the last surviving player. He gets slowed down, he sees the head. Rexy also does the same thing. He sees the head of Marcel and pops it, and that's going to be a team ace to get rounds back for Enigma's favor. And Enigma, this is their map. They're not going to be letting it go away. They've already won split. They're going to be looking forward to close it in a 2-0 fashion.
Oh, Enigma Gaming. Well. Lethal Esports, their economy. It's gonna be a big mental toll. I think Marcel, he heard the dark cover being deployed there from Antidote, and he got punished from it. And Enigma Gaming will be taking that round. And now that Lethal Esports, they do not have a good weaponry. They, however, have gone for the half purchase. I think some players do have the weapon. I think they want to contest it. They don't want to give up rounds, because they are on that defensive side, Lucifer. You're already losing rounds.
They are, but look at this. I mean, it's the angle commitments coming through from Enigma. Rof, you look at that. He wanted to contest and fight with Sensei. He won that duel. I mean, his health is not that great. He's just surviving with 5 HP. But the weapons are also not great to fight out now. Xkali is looking forward to his entry. He finds the opening, misses the early bullets, but then immediately resets and gets it. Now look at this. Android is ready with that shot. Sheriff. But then Antidote, he was immediately there. And this is why we say the trade game is so better from Enigma. They always kind of try to tend and play together. And they let their players play as they want. And as soon as Xkali said, I'm going to be finding an opportunity to push up A, they relay those communications. And that's how crucial it is. There could have been a collat over there if that lineup would have been there. But Xkali gets taken down and it could have hit Antidote over there. Nonetheless, Antidote is able to trade that back. But right now, full buy back in the game for Lethal, but there are going to be double ultimates coming through from Enigma. One is going to be the Blade Storm, which we rarely saw use of in the previous split map, but from the shadows, let's see what's going to be happening. But here, Sensei with that operator starts things off, and the ulti also coming through. I think that's just too early of a commitment to just try and find things on a trade, but Antidote, he finds that trade somewhere else. That's going to be at a shot and brings it to a 4v4. Xkali, the timing. He's entered.
Oh, wow. This shouldn't be happening. This should not be happening.
Oh, the spike!
Spike down.
Wait,
Defender
what
spawn.
happened?
Antidote, he was solely pushing up from mid where he had kind of nobody else trying to help him out, and Rafa finds that opportunity, takes that spike carrier down, but again, the spike has a chance to be recovered. The recon comes through. They will be recovering, and in their quest to recover that spike, Sensei finds his 3k. But RVK is successfully able to recover that spike, and he's going in for the plant. The door is going to be closed as Rafa enters from A shot, but I think it's going to be broken very soon. But in the meantime, RVK, he needs to find a brilliant repositioning because there can be a crossfire that can come through. But are they going to be committing to an A Haven push? The rafters coming through, because RVK is committing for this position at Hell, even though he had a Hunter's Fury to counter.
Well, both of them, they need to be very careful. RVK is under the hell. Shots not lined up. Sensei, is he gonna walk into it? Oh, he's pretty low. Needs to be careful, RVK. He's playing some mind games here, but Sensei is gonna pre-fire onto him, and he's going to get that defuse. And now, Lethal Esports finally getting that gun round into play successfully. However, it was just one player alive in the end. That was way too close for them.
Too close to comfort over there. I mean, it felt like he could have kind of lost that, but if RVK would have been ready for the same pre-fire, maybe he could have also found one. I think if that wouldn't have happened, this should have been an easy round for Enigma. That was a good move, but Rafa immediately wandering back and trying to gain control of mid was one of the reasons they lost the spike. Nonetheless, they shouldn't worry about it a lot. On the attacking half, they've not only got 4 rounds here, Daffy, but they've also have a 2-round lead.
Definitely. Sensei, look at this guy. The confidence that is building up into him after winning that clutch situation. He's made all the way towards that middle position. Is anyone even going to expect this position?
No. I mean, I don't think so they will be, but also they're not even looking forward to mid. They're looking forward to an A hit, but there is a crossfire at A hit. It's going to be difficult if they want to push up. They have to use a lot of utilities to clear these two players, and Android backs off. Now it's only the Judge alongside a cover with the Phantom. Skali reading this, trying to make sure he clears every nook and corner before entering. He uses that fragment, finds no success out of it, but he has 0 points still working in his hands. And the ultimate gets committed, and right now it's going to be tough as Rafael is already entered. The Judge, it was about to come into action, but it was Android who was playing better. And assistance from Rafa, from Heaven. They can have a chance to revive the player, and I think Antidote is going in for the revive. He gets Xkali back online, but Sensei was just way too quick for that peak with that smoke. Takes the player down. A 1v1 situation. Sensei was holding that angle, and there was nothing they could have done. All of a sudden, the round could have been brought back, but Sensei was so quick in repositioning himself, and he comfortably pushed up with the smoke. The sound cue is, I think, one of the reasons that he understood that the revive was being given, and trying to get KO back online and back to his legs, he found that opportunity. And now, Enigma, they're going to be in shambles because they don't have the economy to fight back, at least in this round.
Well, definitely. Enigma Gaming, they came up with a slower approach that they wanted to execute alongside Excali's ultimate, but the trades that were coming in so fast, just not in the favor of Enigma Gaming, and Sensei just coming in. And Marzil, he was, I think, Rexy, he was just too reliant on his turret, who just happened to betray him.
What? Antidote? He casually takes a shot step and enters, but look at this. They've just lost too many players now. I mean, if they could have kind of regrouped, things could have worked, but Excali looking forward to recovering the space.
This is
Recovering
not
the spike.
happening.
Exactly.
This is not happening. This is no way happening.
Antidote.
But he's going the wrong way, Antidote. And Lucia, he has no idea. The smokes are going to come in. And look, the timing is not in his favor. Now he's going to be taking a look towards the garden. Just missing out, but the door is going to be closed. Oh, Antidote. He needs to be very careful. He's gonna spot one. But Sensei, oh, he's pinched down and there's not much he can do. But Antidote, he's looking for more.
remaining.
But Lucia, he's creeped his way towards this side now. But that is all that is going to happen on the side of Enigma Gaming. However, they did get the spike down. That is still going to be good enough for them. As Lethal Esports now finding that grip on this defensive half. Finally finding that sink. Now they're getting rounds for themselves.
I mean, only if Enigma wouldn't have split in various different directions, they could have won that round, because A side, it was just so empty. I mean, it was just one cross being spotted from Lucia from Garden. It was kind of bound to be a little bit easier. If there was a smoke coming through that, I would say, switch, they could have easily crossed over to the side. But everybody was not there, and that's one of the reasons. That's going to be an equalizer round. But right now, it's going to be a full buy that Enigma will be having a chance to play around with. Marcel gets hit with a paranoia and immediately takes a TP back, but does not matter. Android and Sensei, they push up. They'll be finding two easy ones. But RVK, he's the counter that they needed. There's another push coming through, but Rafa is ready from middle. The way the trades are right now working in the favor of Lethal is so brilliant. They understood Enigma's name game is trade game, and they have to be better on those trades, and that's what they're doing right now.
Lethal Esports, now that they are so confident getting rounds on board, they are taking those initial duels on that defensive side itself, and they're getting it successfully, getting those first bloods and putting a gap into your opponent that are playing on that attacking side. It's so important. Gives you so much space, gives you information as well, and gives you that controlling approach towards a particular site as well. And well, Lethal Esports are doing that brilliantly. And now they have that information that Enigma Gaming, they're trying to look towards this B side. Playing it smartly, but Rafiel, he has smarter positioning. He
30
gets
seconds
one.
left.
The flash comes in towards that defensive spawn, but he's not gonna spot anyone just yet. Rafiel, alongside Excali, will be clearing out all angles towards this B side before they put the spike down.
Marcel's position was huge. Rafiel still will be able to flick onto his head, but Android immediately finds the trade. The spike is planted right as now Excali being the sole survivor. Oh no, they come in from two different directions. If it was a single-handed push from one specific lane, Excali could have had a chance to win that. They kind of corner him over there, and that is going to be another round written in the name for Lethal. But this was a very crucial round, Daffy. A full buy being lost from Enigma. That was not expected, but this paranoia when it hit immediately looked forward to the trade. But look at Android, the ultimate, the timing of that usage was just so brilliant, but the same timing was also done from Rafiel. But I think Rafiel shouldn't have overextended. He did make that first move of getting over to the defender spawn, but then immediately wanted to clear the site with Excali in case something went wrong, in case somebody was hiding when the spike was being planted, and booyah, that person take down the spike carrier, and that shouldn't have been the case. That was the only reason I'm pretty sure Rafiel came back from defender spawn, but then he wanted to go back, but he did not have the cloud burst. Now 5 seconds on the clock. It's the start of the next round. They are going to be having a buy that they're going to be forcing right now. The next round I think should be an eco. If they fail because of the spike plant, they'll be good for one. They did have a half shield, so let's see how they'll be able to play out. Antidote reads Sensei. That was not even an angle that Sensei himself was expecting, and gets punished. Rexy, can he find one on Marcel? The nanoswarm is brilliant, but Lucia is there as a cover up. He uses the second nanoswarm as well just to win that duel. Okay.
And that is going to come in for him, but he's getting pinched from the market position as well from Enigma Gaming, and he goes down. The two-man advantage in the favor of Enigma Gaming as the kill from Android does come on to Antidote. The controller of the team is now down, but the raw fuel. Look at this guy once again.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, well, Xcali is not going to be happy about it, but the trade is going to be enough for him. But Android in a 1v2. He spotted RVK. He knows where raw fuel is. They're both teasing him. The Satchel's gonna come in, trying to get himself into a very aggressive position, trying to catch RBK off guard, but he is going to be paranoid about Rafuel's positioning, and RBK is gonna capitalize on that. Get the teammates for the team. Enigma Gaming back on board, finally, once again.
I mean, we were just
5-5.
talking about it, right? Like, it feels like Lethal are finding their way into the game, and Enigma understood that they're just kind of getting better at trades. So what do? They just play with their feelings over there to get that kill, to get that frag, to get that numbers, and that's when they find a chance to capitalize. That's the best part of it, that when you gotten the spike down, you can make the defenders run around to just get your pick, right? And that's the best way it was played. Ultimate immediately being used here. It will deny all kind of utilities, and Rafuel has found his chance to push in, and Rafuel should be good for one along with that Xkali. Gets one, and look at this Hunter's Fury. Two ultimates being committed to just make sure they push people back. And look at that, Rafuel spots another one. He's still pushing back. And what a play coming in from Rafuel. There's nothing stopping this man. He's just going W key.
The change of pace from Enigma Gaming, that just caught off guard Lethal Esports. There was nothing they could do about it. Rafuel, oh my goodness. Someone stop this man. How do you tailwind into such a position and manage to get Marzil out of the server?
He's not even breaking the sweat.
That's bizarre. And Rafuel, such an impact, such consistency. Look at this entry, it's just flawless. And I don't think Lethal Esports, they were anyway ready for it. They probably didn't even know that Xcali had his ultimate online already.
That's just insane of a round, and again, it was a round which was kind of pulled off in 30 to 40 seconds. Aggression coming in here again should give away that just Rexy was here, but there was also a lot of commotion, so they kind of can rate that there can be a lot more players. Rafuel right now backing up with that all drone. The angle will be cleared. Did they spot on Marzil? He rendezvous back, but he's still getting pinged. The trademark tries to slow down but does not get activated. And Rafuel again jumping into side with his blade storm, and he should be able to find Marzil. Look at this, Marzil's position was just, I would say, cornered. The way the ultimate came in from Antidote, but yes, he gets put down, but you did not put down Rafuel. He's the menace that you need to deny, and along with it, his teammates have gone so aggressive that there's no way of regaining control. Rafa finds one, brings it to a 3v1 situation, but RVK with a 3k. Once Enigma decide to enter a site, they not only take control of that site to get the spike down, they get control towards defender spawn as well. As much as they can push back the defenders itself is what their intention is. It's not like they're going to be going in for a post plant. You have seen, right? Teams, after getting the spike, they kind of go for post plant, go towards A main, play under hell. Enigma don't have that strategy. They don't even know what's post plant. They just know keep hitting those players from the opponent, take those players down one after another, get those 3Ks and 4Ks rolling in.
Well, this change of pace, I think, definitely worked for them. Even in the beginning of this map, if you remember, the 3 rounds, they were so fast-paced, and it worked for them. And in the middle, it just slacked off because they took a pace down. And now they bring it back. They got the rounds again. So I think Enigma Gaming, they know how to play against Lethal Esports on that attacking side at least. But the sides have switched now, and the early fight is coming towards this middle position. Rafuel alongside Antidote, they're taking those fights in the middle. Everything's happening in this middle position, and now it's just up to Lucia. Just managing to get out, Lucia.
Yeah, he has this finally Rafuel.
Oh,
health is not great. He can find things here. He's bringing
No,
it to
not like
1v1
this.
situation. But both of them right now 100 each. He's heading over to B. Nano Swarms. There's going to be Alarm Bot giving away his position. He's vulnerable.
Wow.
I mean, if he wasn't vulnerable over there at Daffy, there could have been a chance, right? That Alarm Bot Utilities.
Oh goodness, I think that is why Antidote he took that peek, trusting that Rexy will clutch it out, and he does so. For a second, I thought it was going to happen. The clutch was going to come in from Lucia. Not the greatest game for him, but I thought maybe this is his round. And well, not the case. Enigma Gaming will be taking that pistol round once again in the second half. We'll be having that greater weaponry, but Rocket, I think he definitely spotted one of the players. They do not have that mid control, so they should be expecting some mid presence. And look at this repositioning coming from Enigma Gaming. So ready. They are so ready for this.
The drone, it should be giving away Android's position, but look at this, it's a A shot hit, the spike is over there, but there is also a hold at A. It's not going to be difficult. The Parana, is it going to be coming up? Oh no, before it comes, Rexy is already wrapping them up and sending them back home, at least in this round. Antidote finally getting one. I mean, Parana does go out and win, nothing found in terms of it, but Marcel now left alone to survive. A 1v5 situation, a flawless seeming on the cards here for Enigma. Marcel, he's worried about so many angles that they can come from. Gadget getting destroyed, and Xkali is going to be taking Marcel down. That's going to be a flawless rolling here for Enigma, and they're pushing the limits. They're going to be reaching the 9th point in the scorecard. One round away from double digits, and from there on, they'll be just 3 rounds away from closing their own map and walking into the next matchup in this round robin format in the group stage, and already having an extra point. So they're getting closer to becoming one of the contender finalists.
Very close. Definitely very close, but still not over yet for Lethal Esports, as they will be jumping into gun round for themselves. They will have 4 Vandals and a Phantom. They will be going against 3 Spectres, a Marshal, and a Sheriff on the side of Enigma Gaming. Android taking this fight towards the middle position once again. Lethal Esports, they like contesting this middle position. Even on the last map split, they were constantly pressuring mid. Sometimes successful, sometimes not. Even on this map, the trade does come in. Rafael did take one down, but Android was there to trade him out. Now that the regroup has come in from Lethal Esports, RBK is gonna get some information, but he needs to be ready. Xkali, he gets 2. How is that possible with the Spectre? And now RBK. Pressure's on him. All he has a Sheriff, but we know how great he is with the Sheriff. He stacked him twice. Oh, not landing those shots, but an Android is gonna punish him.
Yeah.
Gonna put the spike down.
Spike planted.
He has Lucia to back him up.
This is a bonus round.
Placing sentry.
That should go in their favor. Close range Spectres. Android is super low. They're going to be finding the jewels. They're dropping him even low. And that is going to be the bonus being converted from Enigma. A couple of weapons being upgraded as well. And that is double digits. Antidote explaining something very crucial. I hope we would have had a chance to hear those comms. Maybe some play did not work in what they wanted to do. Maybe they wanted to corner them together, wanted to push, and that's what he was making signs about. Nonetheless, a brilliant round being pulled off. And this, I would say, duo double kill was not expected. I think the shock dart coming, aligning with the help of RBK, did do the damage, plus the Spectre spray. It connected with both.
Oh well, that was a bonus round, Lucifer. Now, Lethal Esports, they don't have that weaponry.
Revealing area.
Battlefields operated.
And the recon dart is gonna give some information. However, that 0 point is gonna confirm what agents are towards that B main position. Look at Marcel lurking up towards his middle position with his headhunter. Is he going to find any heads? Tensai is gonna spot one. Antidote. Oh, he's gonna... That is very risky. But that's... Dark cover was there to save him up. But he goes down anyway as Marcel takes him out with the headhunter. Android is gonna use the ultimate, but... Spotted Rocket, but he managed to dash out of there.
Rexy and Android crossed! Finally, Android comes back. Oh my god, what
is happening? How is Lethal Esports winning this round?
Spike
They're
planted.
just dropping players. They're just finding freebies here and there, while Enigma, they're just checking wrong directions. They're positioned in different positions, and again, look at this. RVK giving up free information.
Oh my.
On the other end, there was
50.
Lucia.
50 and flawless, Lucifer?
Wow.
How does that happen?
Overcommitment here, Taffy. I feel like it was just overcommitting to those fights. They could have given up that space.
Yeah, I think the middle position, once you have given up, there's no presence in it. I think you should just completely leave it and play it very passive. But once they lost it, they still contested. And there was nothing they could do about it as they lost all those duels to Lethal Esports. And Lethal Esports finally getting that attacking round for themselves. They will be looking to get some morals as Marcel with a fancy jump shot onto Antidote with that tour de force, as we would love to see it on a chamber.
Alvins meeting each other, but Excali, he thought about it for a second. Maybe if he wasn't ping, he could have thought about pushing up. And now he's looking forward to slowing them down. The fragment is about to come, but he has an ultimate to play with. The paranoia hits him. I think he understood that his fragment is better right now at the peak. Which is going to be better? Both of them trying to back off. Game getting slowed down as Marcel is the one who is being the aggressor at this moment. He's gained space for himself towards a shot. He's checking every nook and corner, but there's going to be an alarm bot to detect the presence coming through. But look at that immediate rotation coming through, and the rotation is being read. There are playings repositioning. RBK as well as Excali making their way in at A. But look at this, Marcel again looking forward to the lurk. Raw Fuel, if he finds one here, it's going to be huge. RVK, I think the noise was heard. Marcel, he finds Excali on that rotation, but the side entrance looks to be at A. And sashes themselves in. Android finds the opening in terms of getting at least towards the side. Rexy trying to deny with that spam through that smoke. Does not find anything. And since he had the operator in his hands, but RVK! He did not get a chance on the Sheriff. He's showing it himself off with the Guardian. Lucia will be able to take Rexy. All Rexy had to do was survive. Now the lockdown. It can detain a player. Yes, it has. And that's going to be one player that's already at Vines. So, unfortunate for RVK. Otherwise, he could have brought things back.
There's a no. The information is not in his favor. Android, he's the one that spotted, and he's going to be playing out, but Lucia is just going to wide swing onto RBK, and the Guardian, it's just not going to work for him any further. And Lethal Esports barely, very scary, get that round for themselves.
Yikes.
Well, Rafuel, well, Marjan, he was just too good on that tour de force.
Yep, especially with that first jump shot coming itself.
Yeah.
That is just brilliant from his end. And right now, Enigma, they're going to be having a tough situation. And the scoreline, it's getting closer. This was the previous case as well. But that time, they were at least reached the 11th point. This time, it's going to be 10-7 of a scoreline. Weaker weapons to play with. There's again Chaos Ultimate Null Command. But also, there is the Blade Storms which have been popped out. Let's see if Rafuel will be able to do something with that. And as we said, right, we have not seen a lot of Rafuel's Blade Storm coming up in terms of the plays he's making. But Sensei, he's using that operator in the attacking half, and it's working out.
Definitely getting those early picks offs from that operator, and Mars is just doing that job as well. And well, now Enigma Gaming, they're gonna be taken out from the server one by one. As Lethal Esports are going to be moving their way towards this B side.
There's just too
Very
many for
cheeky
Rafuel
angle
to fight.
Yeah, there's just too many and not too many blades.
Come get some.
Excali with the freebie there. Yeah. Marzen, he
Spike
loves
planted.
playing that chamber and he loves that lurking ability because he gets to do whatever he likes. Giving that freedom is very important to certain players, and Marcel does that job brilliantly. And he's been getting those kills as well. And on top of that, he's getting information.
Owl drone just playing around.
player
And Excali
standing.
is good for nothing. Weapon can be again recovered, but it looks like Android does not want that to be the case. Okay, he's looking for to back off as the spike time has been ticked, and they'll be looking for to making their move. Can he find anything? No, he gets denied, and Lucia eliminates him. That's going to be another round in the favor of Lethal. They are making this attacking half work in their favor. Let's hope Enigma find their groove back in. The operator is being pulled out again from Raw Fuel. I mean, the same thing that they were doing on attack, Enigma being aggressive is the case that they want to look forward to doing in defense, which is getting read as well as being denied from Lethal. I think if they go a little bit passive here, Daffy, they can pull back those rounds and get this map in under their belt. Going to be having a AMD technical pause here. Seems to be an issue with one of the players. Let's hope that issue does not prolong. Whether it's Enigma's issue or whether it's Lethal's issue, it's going to be a do or die situation, especially for Lethal. But one of the best things right now in this group stage is that none of these teams will be eliminated. But previously, they were in that, I would say, elimination position where they could have been immediately pushed out of the tournament.
Yes, definitely. They were the last team that were making an entry in this phase 2, where they faced Valor for that final spot. But they are here. They have some breathing space, but the game is still not over, Lucifer. I think this can very well be a comeback, and Lethal Esports, they can close it out on a set. But if you are going to walk into Rawfield's operator, it's going to be very tough. The spike is down and being retrieved, but Rexy, no one expects you to play there with this. Sensei trying to be sneaky with his operator. He's gonna be caught off guard as well. There's just too many players to deal with. An android. What? He gets two? Excali.
The flash.
He just popped flashes out of the smoke and he managed to get android along with Lucy as well. And now Sensei, there's nothing he can do with that operator pinched down towards that generator position. And Enigma Gaming, just the quick trades, Lucifer. The trade ability that Enigma Gaming have, it's just brilliant. There's nothing you can do. You get those hard kills, but you get traded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we were talking about. We felt like Lethal found what Enigma were doing, those trade abilities, and found how they should be better in those trades and get that positive trades in their favor. And that's one of the reasons that Lethal have pulled so many rounds in their back. But right now, Enigma again bringing things back in their favor. They found that trade game rolling in their cards. But again, it was kind of a split round coming through from Lethal. They were all over the place in trying that attacking execution. This time, it's going to be difficult. Marcel went in for a raw peek over there without any kind of use of utilities or even his teammates backing him up. Loses the battle, and that's immediately going to be that chamber being lost. The ultimate being committed, but finds nothing, and Okio's ultimate counters it and makes it no use. And look at RVK, he goes huge with his ultimate, and on top of it, Antidote finds the spike carrier. The hold from Excali is a little bit bad and gets punished, but the spike has still not found an opportunity to get recovered.
A lot of chaos going around towards this A side as Enigma Gaming.
Shadows traveling.
They're looking to close out this map, aren't they? Yeah, just 2 rounds away. Lethal Esports. 2-man disadvantage. Spike not even in their favor. Oh, RVK
Wins the
needs to
battle.
be a bit careful. But he's gonna win it all. But Android, oh, the
30
smoke.
seconds left.
Oh, but there's no one peeking. I thought there was someone behind the smoke, but that was not the case. But Antidote is gonna swing just in time when the smoke was just about to be placed down. Playing it smartly, and Enigma Gaming 1 round away, closing it out.
They didn't make those mistakes, but this is the advantage that you have when you pull off, I would say, a better defensive half. You get the buffer of a couple of rounds, and Enigma, with that buffer, they found their momentum again. And that's one of the reasons that we keep talking about, that you need to get as many attacking half rounds, so that even in case, I would say, defenders find a chance to make a comeback, or attackers find a chance to make a comeback, you're able to make it work and create that buffer for yourself. And right now, the buffer is not there. And Excali, there was a crossfire which did not even expect it. Excali finds one and make that fragment, doing the damage. Vasil will be able to trade, but it's not at B. It's not where the commotion is taking place. Unfortunate. Oh wait, Excali, what happened over there? I think that was the ultimate. Oh.
It was indeed, and well, Android, he had that showstopper available for him for the past 2 rounds, and he has finally gotten to use it. Now back to a 2v2. A lot of early chaos in the round towards that B main position. Now Lethal Esports, they have a chance to reset. They do have 2 dark covers available as well, but they are going to be walking into Rawfield's operator.
There's no third map. after this. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. They're walking into the operator, and if Rafael gets even one, that's done for, because Rafael will be immediately ready for another fight. And this was very crucial. The wide swing from Marzel works, and they
30
take down the
seconds left.
operator. That was a brilliant read coming in from Marzel. Now it's all up
Spike
to
planted.
Rexy. If he had his ultimate, he could have done something better. The trademark gives away his position that he's pushing from the defender's spawn. They're going to be holding the site itself. The smoke, I think that should let him cross over easily. But he'll not let him push
Out of
from the
touches.
second lane. He has a turret as well as an alarm bot to play with. Places
enemy
it,
remaining.
fights,
Oh no.
and wins the battle with Lucia. And look at this Marzel. He reads it right that he needs to be pushing from first lane. And Marzel, the timing is all. He's right there. He's going to be checking in. The sound is what Rexy is making. He's making a lot of commotion, but he's checking in the wrong direction. And Marzel, he is the MVP to win this round at least. 3k for Marzel. And he saved the team.
Well, he has one more round for themselves. They still have the fight in them, and Marshall has showed it to them. Look at this early kill. Excali, he was in that corner since the beginning. The paranoia was onto him, but they did not clear that angle, and he punished them about it. But quick trades were there. Kills were coming all around, and Marshall's this swing, this white peak was so brilliant. Rexy almost closing it out, but he had no information about Marshall's positioning. And Marshall getting that upper hand, closing it out. And Marshall once again, he got entries. He's getting it consistently right now.
The aim duels, the first frags, Marzel is winning most of it. But now look at this, the operator was operator. Rafuel gets it. Sensei this time gets denied, and he does not find anything with this operator. Rafuel is better, and Rafuel just needs one frag in a particular round to start popping off. And this is the opening that Rafuel has found. Now entering A side is even going to be more dangerous. I think they all don't miss the opportunity of spotting Rafuel out. But look at that, the spike is actually moving out from A. It's heading over to B, where RVK, he's going to be stationed. And there is the ultimate of the Killjoy, the lockdown. So this is going to be a very tough round here, Daffy, to win for Lethal.
It's going to be really tough. Not much information on their side either. Only one ultimate, that too on Marzel. And guess what? Enigma Gaming, they can even play the retake as the lockdown is available for Rexy. And Marshall going for
30
some
seconds
information low plays, but he is going to be punished.
planted.
Lucia does take one down, but still the numbers advantage in the favor of Enigma Gaming. And guess, as we mentioned it, the defender Killjoy
remaining.
lockdown is going to come in. Rafa in a way off angle, but Rocket is going to end it for them. And Lethal Esports very close, but not there just yet, as Enigma Gaming will be taking this map as well as they win the match series. First match of this round robin format in this phase 2 of WD Black Ops Season 3, powered by AMD. Esports partner Skyesports. Well, they are going to be the first winners. Look at the smile on their face.
Antidote
Some hearts.
always. Some hearts, as you said, right? I mean, the fans from Enigma, hashtag fear the Enigma, is going to be going down in the chats. Everybody will be happy of what they were able to showcase, and that's why we knew Enigma coming into the group stage, it's not going to be easy for any of these teams. I mean, Lethal, unfortunate for them, they had tough battles every time in whichever team that they fought with. All the matches went close. There was a loss as well, and just because they lost at the semi-final stage, they got a second chance to get to the third seed, become one of the last teams qualifying. But now when you meet up with the runner-ups of Season 2, they pull up another, I would say, unbelievable performance, a surprise which none of you were ready for. They improved their game, and that's what it is all about. You just keep getting better game after game, and you just show up better. And I think Enigma was a better team here. Yes, Lethal adapted. They bought a couple of rounds in their favor, and Enigma also readapted. They understood that the same aggression, the same fast execution cannot be used multiple times. They slowed things down, but for their surprise, that same aggression and the fast execution was the reason that they were able to get multiple rounds in the attacking half.
Well, that's the thing. Lethal Esports, they are a very new roster right now. and they are very much reliant on their individual skills at the moment. But I think with a little bit more of practice, a little bit more time with the team, I think they can be one hell of a roster. And they're already giving the battle to Enigma Gaming. I mean, they are one of the best teams in the region, and the scoreline, we did mention it. It might be a 2-0. We did predict it, but the scoreline, it might be way closer than we anticipate. And I think that is exactly what we have seen today.
I mean, it felt like once we saw Enigma win out the first map, and even the score difference that they had in the first map, we felt like, okay, they're already dominating. But then Lethal showcased that they are ready for it. They're ready to readapt and bring changes so that they can win a couple of rounds here and there, and that was one of the reasons they won the first map. On Enigma, Lethal could not completely capitalize, and again here as well on Ascent, they made a comeback. They showed us that they can work well, and Sensei on the operator was phenomenal, both on the attacking half and as well as in the defensive half, but it was just not enough. Because Enigma were able to immediately change pace, change their game style, and things worked. I felt like this was the round for Antidote as he got the operator online. I just wanted to see that operator popping off, but unfortunately he did not have any other teammates left to try and give him the necessary, I would say, counter fires or maybe cover fires coming through, or either a distraction. But look at this, Antidote reading it right, reading their opponent like an open book.
Perfect.
So many rounds was one of the reasons that he was able to call what kind of fights they need to pick. And look at this, Raw Fuel, he won this round for the team. It was just so much commotion and distraction coming in from Raw Fuel as well as RVK. Even though he was stuck in back of side, he was just playing Ringer Roses over there.
Well, just buying enough time for his teammate to make a distraction, and he catches him off guard as well. And these rounds, oh my god, the final few rounds that we saw from Enigma Gaming, the change of pace that came in, it just seemed like there was no stopping them at all. They were just creating, setting the tempo on that round, and Lethal Esports, they were just not able to adapt to their aggression. And this pistol round, way too close if you ask me, way too close.
I mean, if this was an 8-4 first half close, Lethal could have brought it even more closer. They could have had a chance to even win this, just because this was really, I would say, 8-4 split did not work out. I think it's just better for the side of Enigma. They were just able to pull off rounds in their bag.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They did it well, but it was just not enough. But yeah, Enigma Gaming, getting that maximum rounds and that attacking half just gives you so much space, and it gives you that relaxing mentality when you go into the next half, because you know it is definitely a defending oriented map, and you can do so much about it with the team composition that you had, and they just did that very well. And also, well, Lethal Esports, they had the chamber. It's just, I think they could really work on the team composition. The double duelist, sure it worked, but you have to heavily rely on your duelist to make certain plays. And the support that you can do with that lineup is just a Sova Recon or maybe a Paranoia and just smokes around the corner. There's not much support you can do to set up your duelist, except use their own abilities to make certain plays. So that is something that is difficult if you run this composition. But yeah, I think if they want to stick with it, they might want to come up with certain set pieces that can help them at least get this attacking rounds. Not even the defensive one. Defensive, I think they can build up the chemistry and work it very well, but attacking side, that's where it lacked.
Yep, I mean, just an information of the recon is not going to be giving you everything that you want. But look at this. Just because they had another initiator, they could kind of pull off some insane strategies and workarounds to just get those damages yielding. But yep, this round is where Marzel went bonkers. He went huge. And it was much necessary for the team to survive. It felt like maybe there was a situation that they could have pulled off, but they said once Rafael starts popping off, once his operator gets going, it's going to be very difficult. And the round also, it does tell us that operator is where Rafael is going to be feeling very comfortable on. I mean, we kind of rarely see him completely popping off with the Vandal, but yes, certain times when his teammates need him on that Vandal, he just goes bonkers. But defensive after Rafael, It's just operator written all over the board. But here's where the MVP changes. Even though Rafael was good, it's Excali. He played way better. And it's all also because of the ACS here, 278 and 20 kills. Enigma Excali was not only getting 20 kills, but also, I guess, close to part of 10 or 12 assists as well. So in total, he's a part of 32 kills. As the initiator, that's a phenomenal job done.
Well, definitely. And well, he has been rewarded with that MVP title. That is going to help him boost his confidence as well, because he's not playing that duelist role either. On Split, we did see him, but he played that KO
Yeah.
like a duelist. As we mentioned, if you have that ability, if you have that mechanics, KO is an agent that can support so well and as well give you that freedom to make certain plays with that flashes, clearing out some angles with that 0 point, even the fragment, and that ultimate is just so great and gives you that firepower as well. And Excali, he's done a great job. And not just him,
Yeah.
everyone on board. The positive KD just shows that they were on the brighter side. They had that upper hand by a big margin on Lethal Esports, where not everyone popped off on their side except Android and Lucia. We did see some plays from Marcel come in as well, but that was just too late in the game and it was just not enough.
Yeah.
And Lethal Esports, very close score line, but it was not enough for today. But it's not over there yet for them, because this is a round robin format. They will be facing all the teams going forward.
Exactly. I mean, there is still chance for Lethal. They will be still having 2 more matches to play, and also a revenge that they will be looking forward to take against Revenant. But there is a second match for today, but it will not be streamed, in case you were wondering. It is also going to be a best of 3 round robin format. It will be against Revenant as well as Reckoning. It will be held offline. We're going to be giving you more details of what's happening when we meet you again tomorrow. But what a show it was. I mean, we wanted to see what Enigma was packing, and they showed up and they delivered. And I'm pretty sure all their fans will be also super happy, as you did see Antidote as well showing some love towards his fans, all the supporters over there in the chat. And also make sure you keep supporting your favorite teams, because they're doing their best.
Absolutely.
Because Global Esports have held that title for way too long, Daffy, and that shouldn't have been done, right? And that's one of the reasons that all these teams want to take them down. And I'm loving it, because all these teams right now have one intention at the end of the day, is to take down the Kings, to reign superior in the territory. And this South Asian Valorant scene is just taken up a notch, and it's going to be very efficient as well as very commanding of how things are going to be panning out. But this does bring us to an end, Daffy, here of at least the first match of the group stages. We'll be looking forward to the other group stage matches very soon, of what's going to be happening and who is going to be qualifying. But that's tomorrow, where we'll be meeting up with one of those teams. The schedule will be updated soon. This is us saying goodbye for now, but there is still another match which will be starting off. That's going to be the Luna, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming up live very soon. Until then, take care. See ya.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.